something like that, for me to say that they all coexist, but they're teaching a different truth, it's hard for me to get behind, because even Jesus himself is recorded saying that he's the truth.
I guess he doesn't understand that, like, coexists doesn't mean that everybody's truth is like the same.
A truth, the truth. That's a pretty bold claim.
It is.
That's a really bold claim. And so if you have someone running around, like, Muslims say, hey, Christians are people of the book, they're cool. And Jews are people of the book, they're cool.
I'm pretty sure Muslims ain't running around saying Christians are cool. But, it is cool that they also have a book. They're like, we got that in common.
And the Hindus and the Buddhists, they respect the religion in a sense to say, hey, you guys can make your way to heaven. But Jesus in the Bible is kind of teaching this idea that says, if you don't put your faith in Jesus as Lord,
he is Jesus. You mean in me as your Lord? Anyway,
then you're going to be separated from God for an eternity
in torturous hell, right? The hell women. And I guess, the verdict still isn't in on whether or not it's an eternal torment type hell, or if you're just poof and you're God. The verdict is still out, because Kirk Cameron doesn't know what's going, and a lot of dissension going on here, and there's a lot of fighting, a lot of infighting there. So, and we're going to try to get to the bottom of that. A couple more people have weighed in now. It's absurd how this is like such a big deal to the Fundies when all this other stuff is going on. We got genocides, we got black dudes being like kidnapped by ICE and taken like a state away, and then just released, take their wallet and go, okay, walk up. Shit like that's going on. And they're like, but Kirk Cameron doesn't think that hell includes eternal conscious torment. We got to talk about this, so it's incredible. But for just, we've been talking about that quite a bit. So we're going to start with this. What's his name? Bryce something, whatever. Weirdo. We're just going to go with weirdo. Is talking to a witch. And, at some point, I kind of skimmed through. At some point, he's going to explain why you can't coexist with witches, because he's a Christian that doesn't understand, like, everybody existing together doesn't mean that everybody has to believe the same thing. But anyway, we're going to get into it. I am Brentley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. Comments back on. All right, here we go. Let me start this sucker over. So he's talking to a witch. That's it. That's all you need to know. A real witch too, the kind that like have magical powers, and they can sing songs and then make everybody start dancing so that they can escape. Or I can't remember exactly what the point of that was, but I think it was so somebody could escape or something, and that's why everybody started dancing when they sing the song.
All right, guys, by the title of the video, you already know we're going to be preaching the gospel to a witch. This witch in particular actually had some church hurt, religious background with Christianity. We had an incredible conversation.
Are we just, okay, are they just calling, do they have a shorthand for it now? They're like, she had some church hurt, that's when, like, people at church hurt you or whatever. We just shorthanded it to church hurt, because it's so frequent that people don't believe true things because they were hurt by the church. And that's why anybody in the Muslim faith that was like hurt by those churches, I guess it would be called mosque hurt, that that must mean that Islam is true. Anyway, he wouldn't think that. Hold on.
With our new witch friend. But before we get into the video, guys, new merch, Professional Demon Slayer. We're out here, battles not against flesh and blood. We're out here slaying demons with the Spirit of God. So,
holy shit, man. Can you, like, put any effort into, like, designs, just anything? It's like the most basic font even. Just give me a font. What the hell are you doing with your shirt? And it's a white shirt. No, come on, man. At least make it black with white lettering, because that's going to get dirty. And if you're somebody like me, the second I put it on, I'm like, how did ketchup get on there? I haven't even eaten a hot dog I haven't even eaten yet today. Somehow, like, ketchup is just flying through the air. Like, there, oh, you put on a white shirt. There we go. and just like gets me. Comes from other dimensions, just like splashes me. It's ridiculous. Like, this is not even possible. I don't even know how this happens.
If you want to rep this shirt or hoodie, go to jesusinthestreet.com. Get yours today. Love you guys. Enjoy the video.
Can you give like a little bit of a background
Oh, I will.
about like?
There you go. Okay, that one's. I hate saying it. Oh my God. Come on. Really, man? Again, any designs. Give me a little devil, give me a little devil horn. It's like a circle to crossed out, whatever. Something, man. Jesus.
So you're actively a witch, high priestess?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
what does that mean?
actively-
What is that?
I'm inactive at the moment. I'm a sleeper cell. But as soon as I get that call from the guy on your shirt there, actually, Satan, I just, they activate my cell, and then that's when we get,
I mean, to be a high priestess.
So to be a high priestess, it's you're walking with responsibility, and it's very similar to like a priest in a Catholic church. You go through and
I wouldn't compare yourself to them. Yeah, you probably don't want to do that, especially when it comes to like responsibility. That's what you're gonna. Okay, yeah, don't go with that, because they don't take responsibility. They famously don't take responsibility when they've done the most horrific thing you could possibly do to somebody else's children, and they don't take responsibility. Like, you need to just be somewhere. Let's just move you away from. No, you can still be around kids and everything like that. No, yeah, that's cool. Just not here where people know that you do that stuff to kids.
you learn and you show up and you grow, and with each step you take towards being a high priest or a high priestess, you're hopefully changing and evolving as a person and becoming a better version of yourself.
What responsibilities come with being like a high priestess? And
Just
Really? No follow-ups for that? Well, okay. Geez, like we just can shift gears, I guess.
being able to realize that, your words matter, how you show up matters, being able to help people, being able to kind of use that in a way that you are able to understand others better, because you're supposed to understand yourself better through it.
and so you used to be
You are supposed to understand yourself. That's that you are supposed to do that, just so you know.
a Christian,
Yes.
and so kind
I'm
of
sorry. I just have like a pet peeve when people say you're supposed to do stuff. According to what? What? I guess, is that like the witchcraft thing? Like in witchcraft, we make sure that we know ourselves.
tell me a little bit about that. You have a Christian background and you left Christianity.
Yes. So I was initially Catholic, and then
Well, that was your first problem there. Okay. Because of, what we just described.
my father and my mother had got divorced when I was 6, and he moved to Georgia, and he became Southern Baptist.
Okay.
So from the time I was 6 to 13,
Well, there's your second problem. Okay. I'm seeing the problem stack. Went from awful to holy shit, this is terrible.
I'd visit in the summers, and I would go to
Southern.
like a First Baptist church. And then 13, I moved there, and I started getting more into the church. I had to go to church on Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays, Sunday mornings, Sunday nights.
It's why I even have to go on Wednesdays. Who does this? What is it? Why is there? And it's because I'll tell you what it is. They have like a midweek service. So because 7 days are too long, you're going to start to go, hold on, I don't think reality is reflecting that stuff that they were saying is so true on Sunday. And it's like Wednesday, they need like a, right in the middle of the week. No, hey, the delusion is still real. Look, no, don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look at anything. Over here, look at me. It's real. It's all real. The talking snake thing and the undead carpenter ghost in your heart. No, it's all real.
Yeah.
Couple mission trips.
And so you left Christianity, and why exactly did you leave Christianity?
I left Christianity for a few different reasons. One, I'm somebody who always likes to question. I like to know. So when you come forward and you're asking your pastor certain questions and their answer is just, I don't know, or like they just...
They don't say, I don't know. Come on. You got to be, they always say, well, the Bible actually says the blah, 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 blah. And they'll just have some bullshit answer. Like they will just make something. They will make up the most idiotic nonsense before just saying, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to pray on that. Maybe you should pray on that. Just get the info straight from the source. I don't know what you're coming to me for. the God that totally does exist, he talks to people. You gotta pray, and he whispers to your heart or something.
Just kind of push it off, then it's kind of disheartening, and it makes you feel a little lost.
Yeah. So just the fact that like you were asking hard questions maybe and they couldn't answer it, and that kind of gave you a bad taste.
There were a lot of things that gave me a bad taste. That was just one of them.
Well, can you give me a few more examples just so I kind of have like an idea?
There's a plethora of bad of issues here, but that was just one of them.
Sure. So the other thing.
Oh God, I have to do all of it. Wow. Okay, you're asking for a lot, bucko. Okay, I don't know why you just
was being forced to go. I wasn't able to choose it as my path. I was forced to go, and it was almost like it was an expectation because I was a child to do.
That's funny. Somebody's like, see, the true name is I am Yahweh, means am breath, name above all names. Yeah, the breathing thing is not true. I don't know where people keep getting that from, but talking to actual Bible scholars that know the language, the breathing thing's not true. Y'all got to stop saying that, okay?
Do what my parents told me to do, but you're supposed to choose Jesus on your own, but you're having to go to church like 4 times a week. How are you not getting brainwashed?
Sure, I get what you're saying. And so then you became...
Oh, they are. They just put... First rule of being brainwashed is we don't talk about being brainwashed. Second rule of being brainwashed is we don't talk about being brainwashed. Third rule is actually everybody else is brainwashed. That's right, not us. Everybody else, they're all brainwashed by demons and stuff, and they're indoctrinating them into the not my religion. So that's that. At public school and stuff, they're indoctrinating them into not my specific religion. That's brainwashing, pretty much, into not brainwashing my. Hold on, see, I'm getting all backwards.
And how did you get introduced to witchcraft?
I actually, before I moved to Georgia, was starting to pick up witchcraft. Like I had bought a witchcraft book, and then my mom, bad Catholic as she is, threw it out, and I had like a pentacle that I would hid under my bed.
Dude, I bet, especially as a Catholic, I bet that book scared the hell out of her, man. She was like, a demon, I knew it, a demon came in here and left this book in here just to mess with, wait, so you bought this? Oh my God, do you have a demon in you right now? I'm gonna have to call an exorcist. I think she's got a demon in her. We need to get I want some holy water. I want some of that oil stuff to put on their forehead with the holy water. Oh my God, we're doing a whole thing here. Strap her to the bed.
What is a pentacle?
So like, do I have one on? Kind of. So this
pentacle?
here.
The pentagram?
Yeah, the pentagram. Pentacle.
Okay. Oh, it's the same thing.
Pentacle doesn't have the circle around.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's just mine. Yeah, it's just a star. That's it.
And what is that thing? It's just like...
It's protection.
Okay, so you were having that for protection, and that's just like...
And it represents the elements in spirit. So it represents earth, fire, air, water, and spirit.
Gotcha. And how long have you been practicing witchcraft now?
School, she got the numbers right. I thought,
Since I was 18, and I have been an initiate since I was 22.
Okay, so about a decade you've been into witchcraft heavily. And what gives you hope? Like why witchcraft, just out of everything? Why?
Satan actually gives me hope because I get magical powers and you don't. So I think I'm already better, just based on that. We get magical powers that we're allowed to use that aren't just going blah, 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 and acting like that's magical or something. So
why that? I mean, because there's a lot of different paths. I mean, you got a lot of different religions, a lot of different spiritualities, but you chose witchcraft. Why witchcraft?
Well, let me be clear. Witchcraft is not so much a religion for me. I'm more of an omnist. So I believe that there's a little bit of truth in everything.
Okay.
None of us.
Omnist. There you go. That's a word I'm not familiar with. Omnist. Okay.
No, for sure.
Like, I think everything is true. See, this is the problem when you have like this, you got this fundamentalist Christian dude, and he goes and talks to a witch who's equally idiotic on her own like thing over here. And then them just talking to each other, it's just, it just confirms both of their beliefs that much more, it seems.
Or for certain.
Let me say hi to everybody. How's everybody doing? Doing okay? Y'all feeling good? You're looking great. What a good group. Y'all look healthy. You know that? Are you drinking water? Got to drink water. It's really important. Apparently, you'll die if you don't. Did you know that? You got to. Yes, there's water in soda, Kevin, and in beer. But I think the beer actually has like, it dries you out more than it. Anyway, it's the whole thing. That's where you get that headache in the morning. You know, when you wake up. Anyway, who won today? Drizilla won. What's up, Drizilla? Hey, what's up? And yes, Kevin, it was Kevin's fault that we were late. I know I didn't. No, well, you don't need to tell anybody that. Could you just, dude, seriously, shut up. So, yeah, Kevin had it. Stop. Okay. Yeah, it was him. But who was second? What the hell are we doing here? I lost track what I was doing already. That's the problem there. Okay, hold on. Where is it? Oh, Deep State. Deep State, what's up? Hell yeah. How you doing? It's great to see you. That's so cool. I know you have trouble making a lot of these because of the time difference and everything. So it's awesome. You made it. Hell yeah. And we got Clippy. What's up, Clippy? We doing? Or I'm sorry, Rex the Pyro. Who? And it's Clippy with like everything on fire back. Oh, I love it. It's like, it looks like you're trying to light everything on fire. Can I assist you with that? What can I do? Do you need some matches? I know where some kerosene is if you need. That's awesome. And we got Phoenix. How we doing? That's Tracy, right? Like I can only see the. I don't know why I can't see their actual names. I could just see like the @ whatever you call that. I'm sure it's got a name, but anyway. And who else we got? Let's see. We got David. What's up, dude? We've got do I know? No, I don't. Let's see. Then we got harsh. Yeah. Do you know why women scratch their hair after waking up? It's probably itchy because they got a lot of times they got a lot of it up there. And so anyway, then who else we got here? We got Gretchen. What's up, Gretchen? Doing all right? It's good to see you. Oh yeah. That's funny. Then we got Skeptic Philosophy. What's going on, dude? Doing all right? Oh, then we got Amber. What's up, Amber? And did something terrible? Did something terrible? No problem. Jesus forgives you. Carry on now. That's it. Yeah, you don't have to take responsibility for anything from the everybody needs to take personal responsibility crowd, which is kind of hilarious when their whole religion is based on not taking responsibility. Incredible. Let's see. We also got Hung Money Goddess. Oh, I love that. the bunny goddess is hung as sucker is huge. Okay, puts the rest of us to shame. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna go back and we'll keep going here, but I'll say hey to everybody as we go. Okay, but all right, here we go.
What is everything, right?
Okay.
We don't know. We really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It doesn't matter what path you take, whether you're Buddhist or you're Christian or you're a witch or you're Hindu or whatever. The point is to be able to connect to the divine, is it not? To be able to connect to source.
And what is the source for you?
So source for
What's up, Bree? And look at the trees. What's going on? Hell yeah.
me would be
And Blood Badger. Hey, Blood Badger, how we doing?
it's just divinity. Like the one.
The divinity.
So are you
Yeah, you know, divinity, divine. That was the root word of the divine divinity. Shit. What's it? Yeah, I'm gonna need to actually define the word here without using the word.
familiar with the Tree of Life at all?
I've seen an image, but I don't know anything about it.
So
The cartoon, or the actual. I was gonna say the actual tree. It's not an actual tree. The actual made up tree in the Bible.
basically it starts with source. So I believe Kether.
What is
And
Can you not address the source? You have to say it starts with source. Like, why do they always gotta say stuff like that? It's like just use You could say the, right? Or is that improper? Like, actually, source doesn't like to be referred to as the source. I'm sorry. I was just explaining it to him. I didn't mean, I'm sorry. No, that was the only one. No, I promise I won't ever do. She gets shocked and just take it out.
Then it goes down into the god and the goddess, which is Bina and Chokma. I got hit by a car when I was 7.
Chokma. What? Hold up. Sorry. I guess I interrupted her in the middle of something important.
So I'm bad at names of things.
What? You got... Wow. Okay. That's a weird excuse. It's like, oh, I can't... you could just say you're bad with names. That's pretty goddamn common, actually. Believe it or not. You're not going to be like, my face was attacked by a car. And so that's why I can't think of names. It's not my fault. It's the truck that hit me in the face.
Remembering names of things. But basically, if you look at that source, Elohim. Have you heard that before? Elohim?
Elohim?
Yes.
It's Elohim. H-E-M.
The name?
Yes.
I've heard of Elohim, not Elohim. Okay.
Elohim. Yeah, I'm probably bad at it.
Okay, it's okay.
We pronounce car accidents, right? They actually also cause you to mix up E's and I's. It's it's just part of my car accidents. So just my bad.
Yeah.
So that is actually, it's God translated, but it's not really translated right. So it's non-binary.
Interesting. So what does that mean?
It means that it's not God or goddess, but the Bible took it and they translated it as God, masculine form.
So basically what you're saying is like in witchcraft, you believe in a god and a goddess, or you just believe in the divine. Because I hear like a lot of...
You believe in a god or a goddess. Were you listening, man? And I don't think he was. I think he was waiting for his turn to talk. That's why when she was like, Elohim or whatever, he's like, huh? What? Oh, are you talking to me? Is that, what? Sorry, can you take it back? I was a bit...
I hear a lot of different things. I've had an incredible opportunity of getting to talk to quite a few witches this week. So that's been great. And
it is Witch Week in wherever you are. So
I hear a lot, but everything sounds the same. But I keep hearing like a little bit of this and that. A lot of different gods. I keep hearing everyone say though, we believe in a little bit of everything. Like that bumper sticker, coexist. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like each religion is on a different perspective of the mountain and they're all working up to the same path.
Yeah, because we all have a different piece of the puzzle.
And so what do you think happens when we die?
I believe we're reincarnated.
Okay.
But I will tell you, I'm flexible in my beliefs. I try not to have a ceiling over my beliefs because how do you learn and grow if you take and you put a ceiling over everything? You're not able to really progress.
And so obviously I'm a Christian and
what?
Are you...
Hold on. What? Elohim, this is Ember's comment here. She was saying, Elohim is one branch on the world tree left of why member. I can't say that. That's not a word, right? Like you just sat on the damn... You just sat on the keyboard for that one, didn't you? Yeah, you did.
You open to the...
There's not even any vowels in the right... Anyway.
Idea that Christianity could be the
That's a mice. How are we doing it?
ultimate truth.
Absolutely not.
Why is that?
Because there is no ultimate truth. There's truth in everything.
So
is that ultimately true? I'm surprised. I don't know if you... They love doing that. There's no such thing as ultimate truth. Well, is that ultimately true? Nailed them. I got pinned into a corner, man. I heard that Wilson weirdo use that one a couple times. It's so good, They can't. They don't know what to do. They don't even know what to do.
Okay, great. So I became a Christian 4 years ago, and Jesus. Long story short, Jesus supernaturally encountered me when I was 17, when I was planning on taking my life, and I'd never done drugs or alcohol before, and so I knew
Sorry, just the way he says. I love to hear that again. He supernaturally encountered me. What the fuck?
So I became a Christian 4 years ago, and Jesus. Long story short, Jesus supernaturally encountered me when I was 17, when I was planning on taking my life. And
who talks like that, dude? Like, who's just like, yeah, Jesus, the person that I have a relationship with, supernaturally encountered me. What?
I'd never done drugs or alcohol before, and so I knew I wasn't having some crazy trip. I knew Jesus was meeting me, and I asked him to take away my depression and anxiety, and since that day, I haven't had depression or anxiety. So that was like my foot in the door to really following Jesus. So I've been following Jesus for about 4 years now.
Are you sure you had it before? I always wonder this. Like, did you just have a bad day? And you're like, I must be depressed and anxious, you know, and having anxiety, like everybody has anxiety. But it's some people have like crippling anxiety where they actually have to like do therapies and stuff like exposure therapy and whatnot. Don't want to take Xanax. That stuff doesn't help. It actually makes it worse. Okay. That's only for emergencies. Right. But you know, that's why we don't take it regularly anymore. They don't prescribe it that way. They're not supposed to anyway, unless you're just somebody who's addicted to it. I don't know why I'm going off on it. What were we talking about again? I lost track.
And so here's my thought process, I think. Okay.
Oh, good. I was hoping we would get some thought processes.
If God is real and God loves his creation and he desires relationship with his creation.
We're stacking up the ifs now like a fucking Jenga set, dude.
I don't think God would make mental gymnastics to give us a hard, complicated idea to understanding aspects of him. So that's why I believe that there could potentially be an ultimate truth that we can be certain in. Because if the God of the Bible that I believe in, I believe he's the truth. And I believe that the Bible teaches...
Wait, what did he just say? He said, I don't believe... Like, are you saying that Christianity isn't true then, man? Because that sounds like you're saying that Christianity isn't true. Like, if your point is, I don't think people should have to go through like mental gymnastics to figure out about the true God or whatever that absolutely wants to have a relationship with you, loves you, and does exist. All these ifs that we don't have evidence for being true. But it's like, that's you guys. You guys constantly do mental gymnastics. Are you kidding me?
Just that he desires a relationship with us.
True.
Then I would say, okay, God is going to reveal himself in a way where finite human beings can understand God to a degree where we can be in relationship with him.
Right. So why does it matter what you call him?
This is great. So you mentioned coexist. Like,
because it's like, yes. Like, so why? That's a weird question to go there. But it's like, I think that if something wanted to have a relationship with you, you'd be able to understand him. You guys can't even figure out like that three can't, like one can't also be three, because that's, you know, against like the most basic law of logic is just this can't be this and that.
Like everything leads to the puzzle. Here's my thing. Every religion has a perspective of Jesus. I think it's inevitable to say Jesus wasn't real. Jesus
Even
was
before
real.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Like the Egyptians.
Yeah, the Egyptians did some crazy stuff. There's a lot of in the
yeah, Jesus. No, yeah, like the Egyptians. What? Where are you? Hold on, just wait a second, okay?
Old Testament, right? When I look at the Old Testament, we see Israel, God's chosen people in the Bible.
Oh, I bet she was like, I know what she was doing. I bet she's doing that thing where she's saying that like Jesus was actually based off of like earlier ancient Egyptian beliefs or whatever that were like Osiris and stuff like that, where they supposedly had all these things in common with Jesus.
Where when they were given the promised land, God is warning the Israelites, like, hey,
hey, Ryan, what's going on? Hell yeah.
Sure you protect the purity of your religion, because there's nations surrounding you guys that are worshiping a bunch of different idols. So he's like, hey, make sure you do this. That's why in the Old Testament, in the book of Joshua, he asked them to drive all the people out of the promised land, because you had the Canaanites and all these other guys that were worshiping like Baal, Molech, and all these other stuff.
Oh, the Baal and Molech. That's right. That's what I was thinking. Ember said, knowing my karma, I'd end up being a Fangon and have to go march on Isengard despite being a forest. I know, right? I have no idea what you just said. What? That wasn't a coherent sentence, Ember. Like, here's what I'm gonna need you to do, Ember. Okay, tighten it up. Okay, this is getting weird. This is the second time now that we've had it.
Or Baal. So they're worshiping Baal, Molech, all these things, and he says, hey, you got to drive them out. So
I don't know why I think it's so funny when they call it Baal. Like, I mean, maybe that's the right way to pronounce it. I don't know. I feel like I have heard scholar level people pronounce it Baal, but it just sounds funny, dude. It sounds silly when they're like, oh, the evil god Ball? Like, hey, they call me Ball because I love throwing balls. That's right.
And keep that in there. They didn't drive everyone out, so it infiltrated the mix right there. And so the reason why I have a hard time with coexist, the reason why I believe Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life is because when we look at Jesus, right, as Christians, we believe that Jesus is God. And every religion has a perspective of Jesus. The Muslims do, the Hindus do, the Buddhists do, the atheists do, the agnostics do, whatever you believe in, they have a perspective of Jesus.
Only because, like, we're talking about, you're in America, dude. We're like, the Christian religion is more prominent, as far as popularity goes, like, than any other religion. If that's the only reason they have a perspective on Jesus, if he's talking about like within the religions that predate Christianity wouldn't have a built-in perspective on Jesus. So like Hinduism and Buddhism do not have perspectives on Jesus because, their religion came first. So they weren't seeing the future and then writing down about the religion that doesn't exist yet.
The Christians say that he's God. Everyone else says that he's not. Islam would say he's a good prophet. Hinduism and Buddhism would say he's a good teacher.
Hey, Jerry, how we doing? Kit pronounces it, but that does not help. Okay, I don't know how that's pronounced. Can you do it phonetically? Like, what is like he pronounces it? Baal. What?
Sure, you should respect him. A lot of atheists don't really.
He pronounces it Baal. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? How am I supposed to get a pronunciation out of that? What am I?
Really care for him, So everyone has a perspective of him, but Christianity is the only one that labels him as God. And so when I look at something like that, for me to say that they all,
it's Christianity. Jesus Christ being God. What the fuck?
all coexist, but they're teaching a different truth.
Thank you. Okay, but wait, you can just split it like that? You can't split it like that. Does he stop? He's like, Baal, like that. He just interrupts himself with nothing for a second. Really? Okay. And y'all seem to be like, not, yeah, exactly. He does interrupt himself with the nothing in between A's. What?
Hard for me to get behind because even Jesus himself is recorded saying that he's the truth, not a truth, the truth.
Yep. Yeah, that's everything. Damien's fucking drinking coffee over here and look at the truth. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He exactly interrupts the A's with the pause.
Truth. That's a pretty bold claim.
It is.
That's a really bold claim. And so if you have someone running around like, Muslims say, hey, Christians are people of the book. They're cool. And Jews are people of the book. They're cool. And the Hindus and the Buddhists, they respect the religion in a sense to say, hey, you guys can make your way to heaven. But Jesus in the Bible is kind of teaching this idea that says, if you don't put your faith in Jesus as Lord, then you're going to be separated from God for an eternity.
What were the Hindus and they're like, yeah, and you can have other religions too. And they still think your religion is not true though, man. Like they're not. It's weird. I think his point here that he's trying to say is that every religion, because other religions mention Jesus, that means that theirs is true. And the way he breezed over Buddhism and Hinduism is hilarious. The two religions that predate his.
Your way to heaven. But Jesus in the Bible is kind of teaching this idea that says, if you don't put your faith in Jesus as Lord, then you're going to be separated from God for an eternity. And to me, that doesn't necessarily sound that scary.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I was reading that thing. What? Hold on. It doesn't say, but did I get it right? Anyway, is the base of a K-net and night. That's how you do that one too, right? Because it's got the double A, right? So the double A's, you got to do that weird pause. Religion, he's the base. How did I do? That was pretty good, right? I think I pronounced everything right. Kevin, where you at with that? No, I did not mess it up. You know what? Stop. I'm going to stop asking you like how I do here.
And the Hindus and the Buddhists, they respect the religion in a sense to say, hey, you guys can make your way to heaven. But Jesus in the Bible is kind of teaching this idea that says, if you don't put your faith in Jesus as Lord, then you're going to be separated from God for an eternity. And to me, that doesn't necessarily sound that scary. It sounds kind of beautiful because I feel like
It is kind of beautiful, you know, being separated from the bloodthirsty war god of the Iron Age.
Jesus is calling us to put our faith in him, right? And so the reason why I personally have like this tension with witchcraft is because all my new witch friends that I have, they tap into these sources. And this is what I'll say before I say this. Everyone I've met that's a witch are like some of the nicest people. They're
It's so weird the way he's talking. Everyone that I've met that is a witch, they're nice. They're really sweet. They're just super wrong about the undead carpenter ghost that I got living inside me that I pretend to cannibalize, and that which is totally normal and the right thing that everybody should be doing, by the way.
extremely kind. No one I've met that's a witch is trying to harm anyone. They have pure intentions.
Right.
But even the Bible tells me that good people don't go to heaven. Faithful people go to heaven. And so when I look at all the amazing witch friends I've met, and even you today, that are just absolutely incredible humans.
Okay, can you just stop with the patronizing, dude? I mean, look, it feels fake. I'm sorry, did I say feels? It is fake. It's absolutely, obviously fake.
That are saying, you know, we're doing all good, you know, we're tapping into light, only positive energy and stuff like that. I've heard that from a few different people and things like that. Why would I want to go to a counterfeit source when I could go to the source himself, which is God? Like, something that I wrestle with is witchcraft doesn't necessarily care about the person.
Can I ask you a question?
Ask me.
All right. So
Ask me the question. Go. Ready? Go.
Solomon in the Bible.
Yep.
What do you think Solomon was?
I believe he was just a king.
Was he just a king? Because Solomon took the Goetia, which are demons, to
I was in a stock. He said she got stuck. Inter said I want her to stand up so I can better look at her stockings. Yeah, she's wearing stockings. I didn't even notice.
build a temple for God. That is what King Solomon did. No.
Where do we see that in scripture?
Well,
Yeah, I
I
can't.
don't
see
have
it
a
either.
Bible in front of me, and it's been, oh my goodness, I was 18 the last time I picked one up. So even though I've read through it a few times. But you can see that Solomon built the temple for God, but he used, and I'm not even sure if it's in the scripture or not. I'm not 100% sure. You'd have to
Keep
fact
listening.
check that. But it is in some scripture, maybe just not the Bible. So what that's saying is that Solomon's a magician. Moses is in the Bible, in the Old Testament.
Yes, he's in the Bible.
Moses parted the seas,
Mhm.
right? That's not, a normal dude isn't going to go down the street and part the seas. He was a magician. He was channeling the power of God, channeling God's will to part the seas.
So we see in the Old Testament that the Holy Spirit was given.
What? Wait, that the Holy Spirit wasn't in the Old Testament, dude. What are you talking about? Like, and that's pretty clear in the teachings of Paul afterwards, that like the Holy Spirit didn't exist or didn't like come to earth or whatever until after Jesus had been sacrificed or whatever.
Given to specific individuals. God's Spirit was literally given to them, and at this time it was given to Moses. Right. And so now, because Jesus has died and resurrected, the Holy Spirit is accessible to anyone. God's Spirit can be given to anyone who puts faith in him.
Right.
So even if you look at the story of Moses, right,
so
like
funny.
Moses himself shows up to Pharaoh, and
But he transmuted
Transmuted
the energy to be able to have a physical effect.
so I personally
the physical effect of the transmuted energy. That's what I was trying to say too. That's absolutely.
don't believe Moses did anything in particular. I think Moses was being obedient to what God was giving him, his spirit, and it was the Spirit of God that did the act, right? But when we look at Moses, he showed up at Pharaoh's house one time and took his like staff.
You went over to his house. You went to Pharaoh's house. They were just, on the couches, hanging out, playing pool, right? In the man cave, right?
And it turned into a snake. And then you had sorcerers that came over and did a counterfeit version of it to distract the Pharaoh and say, oh, this guy's not from God. Like, look, we can do the same thing. They did like a counterfeit version of it.
All of which never happens ever. It's so funny. They act like, yeah, so back then, the witches could turn staffs into snakes. The Christians could turn staffs into snakes. Something nobody can do now. The witches can't do it. The fucking Christians can't do it. Nobody can do any of it. And yet they're like, but this story is true. It's just, what the fuck?
And, even the prophet Isaiah, who has the Holy Spirit inside of him, in Isaiah 8, he says, hey, like, beware of mediums and people who...
But why? Because listen, because I'm a psychic. I work as a psychic. That's my profession.
Oh.
And my job as a psychic is to sit down with people and
trick them into thinking that you have magical powers by just kind of listening to their responses and making a lot of guesses, and then just sort of like running with when they kind of like say yes, and then they usually say some other details about themselves, and you just pretend that you already knew those details, because it's a very dishonest way to mess with people, and they pay you to be messed with for some reason.
honestly, I help them through their trauma. That's what comes up. And
Now, that'd be a therapist. I hope people aren't going to a psychic to work through their trauma. That's not a thing you're not qualified for that.
psychic readings. People think it's all woo-woo crap. It's about being able to heal. That's what it's for. So why would God give me an
I love how she's like, everybody thinks it's all woo-woo and everything. It's not, okay? It's people using the transmuted energy to heal, you know? That's not woo, okay? It's exactly what woo is, lady.
ability to be able to see things in the future and people's past? And I'm a pretty good psychic. Why would he give me that ability if I wasn't supposed to use it and be condemned for
Yeah, that's a good point. Andrew said a counterfeit version of magic. If it worked, it's not counterfeit, because it worked. How the hell? What? Like, that's so weird. It's like, but it works counterfeitly though. It's yeah.
being a medium?
Okay, I would almost change the perspective, right? Here's the perspective I would change it to. The Bible says in John chapter 6, Jesus says that he is the one who has the words of life. Jesus is the one who has the words of life. Not Peter, not Paul, not you, not me. Jesus has the words of life. Okay, so if God gives us his Holy Spirit, and Satan's main job is to distract human beings, according to Christianity, from the freedom we find in Jesus by presenting us with sin, temptation, counterfeits, and things like that, I believe every human being deep down in their heart, eternity is implanted in their heart. And what that means is that people are seeking like spirituality.
Dude,
I think
you can't do an if and then just keep going, dude. Like what that you got? There's got a then has to come at some point, dude. Like, what do you think? You're like, if that Jesus said that he is the truth, not you, not me, not Peter, not Paul, not bit, and then he just like interrupts himself with some other point that he's also just like interjecting in there. It's like, are you gonna get to the then at some point? Like, if what? Like, because all this ends up being is, as long as my religion is true, all this stuff I'm saying also true. I know, it's crazy.
every human being wants to tap into spirituality, whatever that looks like. And I think being a Christian, spirituality is an aspect of it, because we're believing in a supernatural, infinite God.
Right. Because
And so-
it's supposed to help us come back to love. That is the point. Love.
And
That's it.
and so I
He's
think like
yeah, no, yeah, I'm still talking here. Love, yeah, no, yeah, that's not it. Anyway, eternal torture, but yeah, because of the love thing. That's what.
with like you saying, well, what if God's given me this ability? What if I would argue that every human being in their heart has eternity planted in it, and because of that, we're trying to tap into spirituality.
It's right here. So it's like in this area, it's planted. See, there's a seed. I'm planting it. This is, you gotta be able to. That way, you can understand what I'm saying better.
And that has led to a distraction such as being a psychic, being a medium, using witchcraft. Because I would believe as a Christian, like, I respect you as a human being, and I think you're valuable, not from anything that you do, but because you're made in the image of God. I think you have the utmost incredible value, right? But if I were to say, hey, Jesus is the truth, and my faith is in him, and instead of going to a counterfeit source, we can go to the literal source himself, which is Jesus. That's the access that we have in Christianity.
Dude, she doesn't believe that it's a counterfeit source, man. And see, this is sort of the thing. Everybody doesn't think that theirs is the counterfeit source. Everybody thinks everybody else's is the counterfeit source, no matter who they think the source and the counterfeit sources are. They all think it's everybody else's.
Is we literally have access to the source, which is the Holy Spirit. You see what I'm saying?
She thinks that she literally has access to the source through spells and shit, man. This is not, yes, everybody knows, everybody already knows this, man. You're not saying anything new.
Yes, and I've been through it,
She's
my dear.
exasperated.
I went through it.
She's like, oh, my dear child. I already been to your, remember when I said that I had started out with your weird religion, and then I left it because it's so obviously not true.
Grew up in it. I was forced into it. I was saved twice. Like I've gone through a bunch of church. I've read the Bible. My art was taken away from me until I memorized all of Proverbs 32 on how to be a good woman. Like, I am very well aware.
What? They took all of her art away until she memorized a Bible verse. And I'm like, as I'm describing this, like, yeah, that's great. But that sounds exactly like something that Christians would do to somebody,
Of the Bible and what it's set out to do. So that is not something that I need reminding of.
Well, I grew up Southern Baptist, and I, like, as much as I love my Southern Baptist friends and had an experience, like, I grew up almost identical to you. Like, what you're saying, like, I lived, and it gave me a bitter taste in my mouth.
They always got to do that too. No, yeah, no, I experienced your experiences, so I know. But she's trying to. She's like, no, I know your experience. No, I know your experience. You don't want to. Okay, fine. We both know each other's experiences, and some have both ended up in opposite ends of the spiritual spectrum here.
Too. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, that's not even how I live my life. I'm a Christian. I got tattoos all over.
Right. I hate this dude. That's it. That was it. That's all I just want to throw that out there. Right there.
My body. You can't see them, but I got them all over my body. But my Southern Baptist friends will say I was going to hell.
He's the worst too. Like, he's just an awful. And I think it was Drew McCoy recently did a video where he kind of centered around him and showed how he's just a cruel, and it's like he doesn't even understand how shitty and cruel he's being, especially when it comes to interacting with like homeless people and stuff and people with mental health issues. He starts talking to them like they have demons in their head, which, if you're talking to a desperate person that has mental health issues, don't start telling them they got demons in their head. Please don't fucking do that. That's the shittiest thing you could possibly do.
I got piercings in as a man, and like some of my Southern Baptist friends would say I was going to hell. I don't memorize scripture because I'm pressured by my Bible study group, in the youth group, to get a toy out of the treasure box that week. Like, I kind of grew up similar to you.
Like they do at the dentist. They do the same thing. They just, it's at church. So they're like, yeah, you got to memorize the verse. And then you can pick one of the little pieces of plastic crap out of the cardboard treasure box.
I think for me the pressure shift was I was so broken that night I was going to take my life. I had all my pieces on the table. And
is he fat shamed yet? Not yet. No, we're getting to that. Just wait. I don't know if he does, but I could probably.
Instead of each religion working its way up to the mountain,
instead of eating too much food all the time, I go to church. So, just
it was like God came off the mountain and met me where I was at and showed me who I was.
But God doesn't meet everyone there because that God is not for
listen to her like, no, because like she has to say, no, I'm still talking. I'm going to still go from here because he'll just, yeah, that's because of blah, 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 blah.
Everyone. Because not everyone identifies with the same type of thing. Just like with your tattoos, you don't want to go to every tattoo artist there is. You have a specific tattoo artist that does art in a way that touches your soul. And that is the same for witches. That is the same for other people who experience spirituality. They're pathways. All roads lead to Rome. It doesn't matter which one you take, but
she got snakes, dude. She got snakes on her stock. I see why you were eyeing the stockings here. Those are pretty cool, actually. She's got snake stockings. Oh yeah.
One doesn't resonate with me.
That's awesome.
Because for a few different reasons. One, I have ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
I also
you don't say. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, you definitely both do.
I have tried to take my life.
I here. What do they say? I match your and raise you extra ADHD. How about that? Yeah.
And you know what?
What is it? It's like, is it call? I call and then raise. What do you do first? What do you do before you raise? And the poker. Anyway.
Begged God for so
much. It's C. I'm sorry. I see y'all's ADHD and raise you double your ADHD. So there. Yeah. In fact, I forgot what we were talking about. What were we doing? I got stuck on the poker thing and just.
I begged him to stop my mother from drinking and being an alcoholic, I begged him to, you know, just like help ease the depression, help ease the pain. And it never went away. It just got worse and worse and worse.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, did I miss the pegged God thing? It's like, it's just like, wait, she pegged God? Because that's a porn I'd watch. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, that's some of the best. That's some of the best stuff right there.
And I also am in the LGBTQ community. I am bisexual. I like men and women. And I don't feel like love is a sin. I don't feel like it's bad to give your love.
It's funny. I was right about to just like be like, okay, time to go. And then now they're getting into something like slightly interesting. I'm sort of like, gonna wait a second to see what his response is here, and then we're gonna head out and check out something else.
To another human, that's the whole point of existence, is to be able to have that purity and love, because love is pure. So with that being said,
okay, so out of all the wrongness on both sides here, I'm gonna give her 1 point. I'm gonna give her 1 point for rightness on the LGBTQIA plus community. So there, 1-0, honestly, with this guy. And I feel like in a second here, he's going to get a -1 because his wrongness is going to, anyway.
What helped me was actually being able to tap into, I'm a high priestess of Apostates, and I connect with that archetype.
It's pronounced karate, okay? And they don't have high priestess. So I think you're mixing up something here.
I live in the dark. What I do is I'm able to see people's darkness and I bring it to the light so that they're able to work through it. So just like Solomon took, whether you believe it or not, that's okay, but Solomon took the Goetia, the demons, which by the way translates, it's daemon, which translates to spirits, not actual like.
Hey, she's talking about you, Damien.
Demons. Took that and then transmute.
He is bored. Look at him. He's like, oh, you've been talking too long. Now, lady, I'm getting antsy.
Did it into building a temple for God. So our lower self then helps our higher self. So we're able to take our trauma, our pain, and be able to bring it into the light so that we're not projecting it outwards and hurting other people anymore.
Yeah, so like I think just as well as I do, like you can probably meet so many people and like help them with
he's not going to be at all responding to anything she just said.
their trauma, but you hypothetically can't help them with their trauma. You can only like reveal it according to you, but they can't do anything about it unless they get honest, right? Like
absolutely.
they have to get honest, right?
Absolutely.
And so I think that's the thing.
Okay, at least he responded to what she actually said, but not in any coherent way.
That I'm like,
I'm just here to give them the tools. I can't fix people. I just say, hey, here's this thing. This is what you need. Go to therapy. Do this thing.
James Dobson said that. He said that bisexual, that's orgies. He would say something like that. That's what they do all the time. That's what they mean by that. They mean they're an orgyist. They just always have an orgies, just with all the genders,
That's it. If they do it or not, that's their choice. That's their journey.
Well, when you mentioned that the pain never went away for you, I just couldn't help but resonate with you so much because I became a Christian that night and I thought my life was going to be sunshine and rainbows.
In the Waffle House, he got saved in a Waffle House. He used to just say that every single time he'd be talking to somebody. Check it out, in a Waffle House one time. And it was just like, oh my God, he keeps talking about Waffle House, man. It's making me kind of hungry for Waffle House, actually. It's kind of hard to watch that.
When I gave my life, like it was almost like magic. Everything clicked and it was going to be lilies and
that's how it was for me with
daisies.
Lilies and daisies.
Joining the temple. See, for me, I had the complete opposite experience. The first year of me being a Christian might have been the toughest year of my life.
It sucked, man. It sucked. And then I got used to it sucking. And now my ability to evaluate whether or not stuff sucks or not, it's kind of gone. So yeah, I don't, so now I really can't tell that everything still sucks, but anyway.
I didn't say it wasn't tough, but I did have, It's go-
Frame of reference. That was the word that the phrase that I was stuck. Yeah, he doesn't have a frame of reference anymore for like what sucks and doesn't suck. Because he's just like, I've just decided that I like the sucking stuff.
going through, and a part of you dies. You die every time, like you die when you go into that, and then you're reborn. And that's how it is. So yes, it's not easy. It's going through the birth canal. It's gonna be crap, but like you're still,
And as we all know, crap goes through the birth canal.
you have that same, like what you're describing, that like, wow, this touched me. That was Apostate for me. That's who came through for me.
Yeah.
And actually gave me real world signs that God or Jesus never could. And you know what? I do still somewhat have a relationship with Jesus to a degree. Like I don't feel like Jesus is bad. Like I'm not condemning Jesus or being like, this is terrible. I'm just not, it's not masculine energy that way doesn't resonate with me.
When you say masculine,
Yeah, I know it's the masculine energy thing. That's, he's totally going to understand that argument. What the fuck?
energy doesn't resonate with you. Like, what do you mean by that? Like,
He's like, oh yeah, no, the masculine energy. Fucking what? What?
I can't connect
What is all
as
this
well
like?
to
Oh my good God! What the hell is that? What is? That? See what I mean? It's weird. It's weird to have a tortured guy on your leg, right? That's strange. But no cross. At least he's like, nah, I'm against the tortured device, but I do have the tortured guy. But it's kind of like my leg is the cross. My leg is the torture device. You got to just picture him nailed to a leg. With what is that? Like branches, the olive branch. Is that the olive branch? Probably because he's like, oh, I provide an olive branch when I spread the word of God.
masculine deity as I can to a feminine one. And I also am somewhat of the belief that what is inside of us is also external from us. So, and that's a bigger concept. So I'm not going to dive too deep into that here, but
What? What's inside of us is also what's external to us? Yeah, I would love to get into that deeper conversation and what the context of that is, because that sounds like something that literally doesn't make sense.
what I will say is that like divinity lives within us all. God lives within you.
He died on a shin for your sins. He died on a shin for your sins. Sorry, I got a speech impediment.
Jesus lives within you, and that's the archetype that helps you to be able to manage your depression, manage your anxiety, be able to help other people. Hopefully that's what you do.
Mhm.
And that's what I do with Akate. It's just a different archetype.
So the odds that are on the table right now, according to what you believe versus what I believe, is, let's say you're right now.
I'm not right.
He's like, okay, cool. So can I be right here then? Because you just said that you're not, am I? So, well then, I'm just going to interrupt it. I am right. So you should do you want to be right? Sounds like, because I am, you should just think my thing and then you could be right.
You're not right.
No, no one's right. It's not about being right or wrong. It's just about being able to connect to the divine.
See, I get what you're saying. I guess, from
I don't think you do. I don't think you do at all.
my perspective, I'm hardwired super logical. I think there's a
Okay. Whew, that was damn. Oh man, I did not. I'm sorry. I'm okay. I'm sorry, Kevin. No, we're good. I did not see that coming. That's no, you're not, man. No.
a lot of men that are hardwired logically. I think it's how most men are hardwired. And so I think very logically. And so when I think about there being an absolute truth, I really believe it. If no one's right, if we're going off of that statement, then you can't look at what Hitler's done or Jeffrey Dahmer and say that what they did was wrong. Because if
I think so this is what we call an equivocation. right? It's where you use a definition of one word and then you swap out that definition for a different definition. When we're talking about right, we're not talking about morally right. We're talking about factually right. Two different rights. And we're also not talking about making a right when you're driving a place, because that'll probably be the next thing that you do. Okay, you're like, and if you want to be right, well, then you're just going to be driving in circles. That's right, because you're just going to be constantly making right turns, and because that's
we say no one's right, then we can't say, well, what Hitler did was wrong. We can't say that. We can't say, well, what Jeff.
Yes, thank you, Tracy. He's logical, though. That's listen to that logic go right there, man. Wow, deep, just hardwired logic right there, bro.
Jeffrey Dahmer did was wrong. We can't say that,
I'm kind of missing how that's connected.
Good job. That fair response. Yeah, because it's not connected. It's called yeah.
This is where I'm getting is if we keep that same thing, like, well, I'm not saying I'm right, you're not saying I'm right, everyone's got a little bit of truth, right? Then we're even going down to the big scale of, well, Hitler had some truth to what he did, Jeffrey Dahmer had some truth to what he did.
What the fuck? What are you talking about, man? Look at her face. She's like, no, this doesn't have anything to do with that, man. Like, what? Where are you at? You're like, oh, if he had some truth, he had some truth. What are you saying?
Because if there is no absolute truth, right, then morality's screwed. You can't.
What the hell are? Oh my God, dude, he doesn't. He's mixing up. He has no idea like what he's doing. He's just like mixing up arguments. He thinks he's talking about like the moral argument right now, that objective morality. That's what he's trying to do, but he hasn't said the words objective morality, and he's talking about absolute truth, which has nothing to do with morality, unless you're talking about moral claims and whether or not they're true. And that's where you get into, is a moral claim objectively true? And that is a whole different philosophical thing that is so funny. And he's just like sidestepping into this trying to do this like anti-moral relativist argument thing.
Tell me that murdering someone is right or wrong, or you can't tell.
I can tell you. I absolutely can. Not because I have absolute truth. You don't need absolute truth, man, to be able to say that the Nazis were wrong, dude. I could say that it is wrong for people to harm other people because I'm a people, and I don't want to encourage that kind of behavior, because if I do, guess what'll happen? It can easily get back to me, and when it does, I can't say anything because, hey, I said it was fine for other people. That's like just that logical understanding is all you got to do to respond to this idiot.
According to your beliefs, like let's say if you're pro-life or pro-choice, they can't tell either of them that one's right or wrong. You see what I'm saying? Because morality
is like almost like, is he trying to do you can't get the is from an ought thing? He's trying to do Hume, like, hey, if we don't have absolute truth, then you can't get an is from an ought. Again, I don't think he understands any of the things he's saying right now. He's heard Frank Turek way too often, and he grabbed onto a couple things but missed the rest of the fucking context there.
Truth, because there is no absolute truth. And so if you and I were to say, well, murder's wrong, I think you and I would both agree raping people is wrong. You and I would agree murdering people is wrong. Like these.
Why are those things wrong? Just because your God said so? That's it? Because, like, I think there's other reasons that we can imagine why those things would be wrong. And the answer isn't because, oh, I have to believe in a God that says it's wrong. Otherwise, nothing's wrong. Like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude?
Things.
Yeah.
Well, then we would both be saying, well, we believe in some sort of absolute truth. So then the question would be, where does that morality come from?
As somebody said, this needs salt. Dahmer was actually right about that. We are, not salty enough. That's for sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, kind of. I think it's an extreme example, to be honest with you. It's a
And it doesn't really track to anything that we're talking about. It doesn't have anything to do with absolute truth. But yeah, Deep State said evangelicals can justify just about any atrocity to themselves. What's he talking about? They don't believe in absolute right or wrong. And you're right, they don't. They believe in like that divine, what is it called? Divine command theory, where basically right and wrong is just whatever the whims are of the deity that they believe in. That is where right and wrong comes from. So when you got stuff like slavery, which is advocated for in the Bible, by the way, that's not wrong until some Christians come along and go, you know what, we're gonna act like that's not in the Bible anymore, and that we are the ones that said that it is bad. That's right, yeah, and we get credit for that. I just want that, I want that to be clear. Christians, the reason that slavery stopped. We're gonna write that down. Let's write that down. Yeah, let's say the Christians are the reason that slavery stopped. So, yeah, we get, even though it's in our holy book and advocated for in our holy book, but you also somehow get credit for getting rid of it. Jesus Christ.
A little much and a little triggering, but that's okay.
I wasn't trying to trigger you. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to.
Especially from someone who's had
I apologize.
trauma that way, but
I'm
that's
so
all right.
sorry.
Don't touch.
So,
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. He's like starts going, whoa, no, don't touch.
what I would say
No.
is that it's more about like, yes, if there's an absolute truth, let's say that it's the divine. Let's say that divinity is the absolute truth. It doesn't matter what you call it, it's still divinity. And yes, murdering someone or whatever, yeah, that's not good. Let's not do that. But also, is it really that black and white?
And first of all, somebody's laughing back there. That's pretty funny. They're like, oh, it's a Christian idiot, weirdo kid. Anyway, Ember said, Bradley, let's be real. This kid doesn't know who Hume is. Yeah. Yeah, I know. You'd be asking him. So you're talking about Hume? Actually, I'm wearing Axe body spray, But would you say Hume? I'll have to try out some Hume. It smells good. So yeah.
Like, do you believe in the death penalty?
Do I believe in the death penalty? I still don't know how I feel about the death penalty, if I'm being completely honest with
And
you.
that's quite all right.
You got absolute truth, bro. And yet you don't know if something is wrong? Wow, that's almost as if your entire argument just fell apart based on the shit that you're currently saying. I thought you were supposed to know the ultimate right and wrong about everything because you have absolute truth.
Because it's morally gray.
But I think that there are
Do you believe
things.
that it
It's
was
really
okay
not.
for the
I do not think it's morally. Just to get serious for a second here. No, it's not morally gray. What are you talking about? Like anything taking another human life, even an institution like a government, even if they are have done or have been accused of doing horrific things, they still, like, the whole point of putting that person away in jail and everything, or like the whole purpose of the government is to remove him from society because he's harmful from society. I know I've done a he, and well, let's face it, it is a he. We're just gonna go with that anyway. And it's just to remove him from society. So you don't have to unalive them if the goal is just to get them out of society. You know what I mean? Like it's just not, it's not okay. Plus, the government's super wrong about stuff like a lot, and cops and detectives and forensics. Like, look up what forensic science is like. Forensic science. It's not good. It's not good. And we put people away for that, for what this forensic science says.
Christians to run the Crusades and murder 9 million people?
No, I don't think that what happened in the Crusades is right. There was a lot of wicked things.
What about the women and people who suffered here in Salem who were hung, and Giles Corey who was pressed to death? Do you think that was right?
I don't think that unjust murder is right. I don't think that any of that stuff is right.
But they thought it was just, man. That's the point. That's the point here, dude. They were doing it in the name of your religion.
And I don't think
But
God.
that's what God told them to do.
Well, God didn't.
They thought that God told them that. See, and people being able to be wrong kind of throws off your whole absolute truth thing now, doesn't it?
Not tell people to do the Crusades. The Crusades had nothing to do with what God did. The same thing where people say, well, God loves slavery. God absolutely hates slavery so much, he set the Israelites free. God's heart breaks at that. And I think,
and yet he said that it's okay to have other people, and literally used the same Hebrew word for the slavery that they were enslaved in, for being able to own heathens that surround them. Use the exact same word. So it's not it's not like they can even get out of this, because what he just brought up, oh, God hated slavery. That's why he said that his chosen people, he didn't want them to be slaves anymore. But he did want them to be able to enslave other people, as long as they weren't other Hebrews, and even if they were other Hebrews, you could trick them into being slaves for eternity, because they had a 7-year rule. But, there's a way to trick them out of that 7-year rule so that they'll sell themselves forever.
Something that I hear a lot in your story, which was similar to my story, which was like, well, this person forced me to go to church, and this person did this thing, and this person did that thing, which was the same for me for a lot of my life. That's almost like me running around Salem and being like, hey, tell me about Danny. And people would have some good things to say about Danny. People would have some bad things to say about Danny. And imagine if I just made my mind up about you because I just let other people tell
Who the fuck is Danny? Wait, she's Danny?
me. And then now we're hanging out on the park bench and we're getting to hang out. And sure, we may disagree, but I think you're pretty cool. And I think you're valuable. And I think
you're pretty cool here. All right. This is not infantilizing at all. All right.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to get that unless we spent time together. And so I know you said that you haven't picked up a Bible since you were 18 and, haven't been to church in a while. But I think my respectful challenge would be, if you think there could be a possibility, the slightest possibility, I'm talking on the 0.0.
I love how he doesn't respond to any of the things she actually says. Even he brings up what she says, but then he just doesn't respond to it. It's like this, it's just so off keel, and he's trying to make his case, and it's like I don't even know if he knows what he sounds like right now.
You're a 1% chance that this Jesus guy could really be the absolute truth.
I don't.
But if there could be,
there's nothing in my head that says he's the absolute truth.
I feel.
Yeah, that's right. So, and you having access to the absolute truth that you totes know is actually Jesus, can't even figure out if capital punishment is evil or not.
I feel like when that is coming from that place where other people have defined him,
Daddy Phantom,
for you versus me, because I would argue, and I hope not. I hope I'm not just jumping the gun here.
All right, who just knocked into the mic? There's somebody. Who's like, oh shit! I'm sorry. That was me. Okay, I got. It slipped. I'm sorry.
But I feel like we might leave this conversation, and you might be like, I was able to have a pretty decent conversation about Christianity.
Let me see. So, Ryan said, so she can go to church and get harassed and shamed out of what she really thinks. Yes. Yeah. That's what she needs to have happen to her. That's where God gets, that's where souls for Christ are won in church, where they shame you.
And I wasn't being forced on me. He was just presenting the idea, and it wasn't half bad, and
you know what I do believe I will get out of this is one of the biggest things that
I know. He is going to Pascal's wager. If there's even a 1% chance, okay, that Jesus actually is the one true God and everything, then you should take that chance, because otherwise, tortured for all eternity. Is that what you want? Do you get that means that there's a 99% chance that you're going to be tortured for all eternity? Wait. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. But yeah, 99% chance tortured eternity. You want to take this odds? Huh?
I've been in and out of therapy for a long time, because one of my specialties is shadow work and being able to dive into self and learn how to work through and heal crap. And what I do believe I'll get out of this, because I have had a really hard time being able to unpack that sort of brainwashing and that trauma. And though I've deconditioned myself, which took a long time, it still gives me an internal reaction in my body to even talk about it. So what I feel I'm going to get out of this is actually just being able to learn that I still have a lot of healing to do in regards to that. And maybe I will go into a church in order to face those demons that I have. And you know what? That is a good thing. But it doesn't mean that it's something that I'm open to anymore, because I've found my path. I know exactly what my path is and who I'm meant to be. And I'm meant to be a high priestess, and I'm meant to help people find their own way, whatever that may look like, because I don't believe that there's just one way to the divine. And
Yeah, Ember said, it's wild how theists will say the odds of there not being a god are 0.00, wait, of there not being a god are 0.00001% in one breath. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. If there's even a 0.0001% chance Christianity is true with the next, it's pretty, yeah. I don't think they know percentages very well. I'm going to be honest. I don't think they get it. I hear him say 1,000,000% a lot. I don't think they get it. I think they're very confused on what a percentage even is.
that's okay.
Yeah, I think when it comes to a lot of the issues that you raised, like when you mentioned earlier briefly that you're part of the LGBTQ community and all this stuff, and being forced into Christianity and just everything that you've encapsulated, right? As Christians, we believe that God has an original design for mankind. That's what we see according to Genesis, that God created man and woman in his image.
Holy shit, really? It's like, hold on, I got to circle back to the bigot stuff. Hold on, wait, I did the whole absolute truth, misunderstanding, moral relativist arguments think. Now I got to circle back to being a bigot.
To live in relationship with him. That's the point of the Garden of Eden, was that they walked with God daily.
What about Lilith?
Ooh,
Lilith?
Yeah, what about Lilith, man? Yeah. What about that?
You're talking about from Samson?
Yeah, that's a Samson. What? No, man. Holy shit. Where the hell was there a Lilith in Samson? That's Delilah, dude.
Do you know about Lilith?
No.
So this is not in the Bible, but the Lilith lore. What happened
I don't know stuff that's not in the Bible. So
was Lilith was Adam's first wife, and she refused to lay under him.
Yeah.
And because of that,
he wanted missionary, and she was like, no, I want reverse missionary. He's like, you're out of here. Okay, lady.
Adam went to God and complained, and Lilith fled the Garden of Eden.
It's like, this lady that you gave me, she won't do the stuff I want.
So she left in sovereignty because she refused to not be his equal. She wanted just equality. That's all. And so then Eve was made, and then they fell anyway, because as much as people want to put it on Eve, it wasn't just Eve, it was Adam. But if you also look at that and you think about that, one, Lilith represents, for me, divine femininity. It's being able to stand when the masculine, divine masculine, refuses to step up, and being able to go your own path. That's what she represents for me. But also, if you think about it, if you have the devil, or you have, Samson.
You don't Samson now. What?
Samael, or you have whatever you want to call Satan, whatever you want to call him.
What? What is the Samael thing? What is that? Is that like the son of Sam demon or something?
Which is different from what witches describe him as, or whatever. If you want to go down that path, God is omnipotent and knows everything. God knew.
Oh, Damien said Lilith was late mythology synchronization of I think he misspelled a word there. You got to have a U when you have a Q. I just want to, I'm just trying to help you out. But okay, can't have Q's without U's. All right, that's how it goes.
Yes, we have free will, but God created Lucifer. That was a thing. God had to have a binary system, good and evil. Without one, you don't have the other. And in order for you to be able to even have free will, you have to be in that binary system to be able to choose. And in order to do that, you need an adversary. So God...
He's like, I'm already very confused. I don't even know where to go. What?
Like literally cast Lucifer out because he needed an adversary. Otherwise, who's going to tempt them, or how are they going to have this good and evil? It's the same concept.
It is pretty funny too that like God, like instead of like all-knowing God too, this is like why kind of that like God wasn't supposed to be all-knowing when like the Old Testament was written and stuff, because like the all-knowing God knows the future, knows that the devil is going to end up tempting man, God's greatest creation or whatever, into like having to fall, so that he has to sacrifice himself to himself in order to correct the rules that he made up, which yeah, that makes sense. But like he doesn't destroy the devil immediately. He knows what he's going to do, he knows what's going to happen, and yet he makes them anyway. And it's like what she said, like, because there's got to be a shredder if there's going to be some Ninja Turtles. I mean, what are we even doing here, or Krang, depending upon where you or that fly guy, super fly. What was the fly's guy's name? He was the fly. Remember the fly from the? It was I think it was Ice Cube was the fly. Anyway,
It's the lower self and the higher self, the super ego, the ego, and the id.
Well, I don't think
those are like kind of outdated psychology terms that we don't really use much anymore, because they were. I mean, the concepts are still there, sort of, but they've been updated quite a bit. That's some really old psychology scholarship. I think you need to get the MS 5. You get the 5, the MS, the DSM. That's a DSM 5. You got the latest one.
I think God created Lucifer for the sake of like creating an adversary. God gave us free will. He created it with the possibility of there being rebellion because of free will. But originally, Lucifer was an angel according to the Bible, and was not
according to the Bible. Nope, that's not in the Bible. That's just sort of in the lore that surrounds the Bible.
The top-notch angels. He was a big deal.
Top dog.
But he got full of himself.
He was the top dog, man. That got full of himself.
And because he was a angel that was created, he can't be redeemed, so he fell.
But we needed
And
we did.
I don't think we need him.
We needed him. Well, then why? Then why did God let him stay?
Because God doesn't need anyone. That's the beauty of the gospel, is that God doesn't need us.
This conversation got weird.
Wants us.
But for this play that we call life, and if you're going to have a binary system, and you want
you keep on saying binary, I don't think he knows what you mean. So
free will, there has to be a way to make a choice. And if there's no way to make a choice, then how is it free will?
Well, he didn't necessarily have to create evil for free will. There just had to be the possibility
But he did
of
create
rebellion.
evil because he created everything.
God didn't create evil.
Of course.
it's literally in Isaiah. Hold on. I gotta look this up. That's so funny. God didn't create evil. No, he didn't. He created everything, dude. What are you talking about? God created evil. Bible verse. There it is. Bible verse. Isaiah 45:7, which states, I formed the light and create. This is God talking. Okay, just so you know, this is God talking here. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all things. Where are you at with that one, man? Huh? It's in the Bible. It's in your book, dude. Do you not read your own book? I don't think he does, to be totally honest. So, I mean, I don't know why that's like so surprising, because they rarely do read their own book.
He did.
No, he created a free will world, but human beings, because they had free will.
Into existence if he created everything.
If we say God caused evil, then God's not a loving God. So God, I think there's a difference. God,
Holy shit! He's getting there. Getting there, y'all. He's so close. He's going to figure it out like any second now.
didn't cause evil. God allowed the possibility for evil to exist.
And how did he do that? Without causing it to be allowed to. He made everything, dude, which means he set up all the parameters that made it so the evil as a concept could exist. Holy shit.
Look at the Old Testament. The Old Testament is crazy. Like, there's some crazy crap in there.
There is some
And
crazy
he
crap
was
in there.
very mean back then.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So here's my
He was very mean is an interesting word to use there, but yeah. I would say evil, genocidal, but mean too. Yeah.
Thoughts on that is God's a just God. If we as Christians believe God's a just God, then we have to let him handle business. Now, God would give Israel specific instructions. They would rebel. They would get exiled. Then God would save them. And then it would keep happening over and over. Now, there were times when like the Babylonians were sent to...
Wait, what? Ember said, one of my favorite mythologies is Lucifer told God, humans can be truly good. God said, nah, bro. Lucifer said, yeah. So God said, get out and don't come back until you have 1,000 pure souls. Thus, tempting. Huh. Interesting. Now that is pretty good. Where did you get that from? I'm just curious now. Like where does that did you just make that up? Or is that actually a mythology from somewhere? Is that a Gnostic? That's wild.
Go take captive of Israel, and then God punished the Babylonians because they did some wicked stuff. I don't fully understand the depths of that, and that's why I think God is eternal.
Yeah, and exactly, that's the issue here, man. You're willing to believe stuff that contradicts other stuff that you're thinking because you're like, well, I don't fully understand it. This is why you don't believe things like that without like having good reasons to believe them. When you go, no, I know on the words on the page is God being evil. This God that I believe is all loving and all good, but and then he's like also willing to go, but there must be something that I don't understand that connects this perfect loving God to this evil thing doing stuff. I'm not intended, I guess, to know about that, but I'm just going to keep believing all of it, even though it contradicts itself.
There's going to be things that I don't understand fully, but if you want to talk about a beautiful example of the loving God,
blood is like mean is an extreme understatement there. That's what that is.
In the Old Testament, it's Hosea. Hosea was a prophet in the Old Testament. He's like the most popular guy in town because he's the guy that has the whole...
Totally popular, man. He's got that real shit. You know what I'm saying, man? He's got that loud, right? Everybody knows that, dude, right? Everybody goes up there. They have the little tiny bag, 3 for $10, right? 3 for $10. It's a pretty good deal. Every $10 you get an extra little bag. It's pretty cool.
Holy Spirit. And God tells him to marry a prostitute named Gomer. And every night when they would go to bed,
well, hey there, Andy. I'm a prostitute.
Gomer would slip out and go sell herself on the street for sex every night. And every morning when Hosea woke up, he would have to go downtown and he would find Gomer beaten and bruised every morning.
Please don't beat me, Andy.
Because she had sold herself on the street. And one morning when Hosea woke up, he couldn't find Gomer until he stumbled upon her on the sex slave market, where because she had sold herself so many times in the street,
it's not the sex slave, it's not money. No.
She was deemed of little to no value according to the people, so they were selling her publicly.
That's kind of part of power play, right? So one of that would be the sub, right? So the sub is seen as having no value, right? And then the dom is the one that has all the value, which is why the sub is subservient to the dom, and that's why the sub gets tied up and wears like leather stuff with like zipper mouths and things like that. And it's
and
I don't know. I didn't know he was into that sort of stuff, but I'm glad that he and I see eye to eye on some stuff, though.
He looks at Gomer and buys his wife back. Now, someone who justifiably could divorce her is like, man, you're unfaithful to me. You don't care about me. He buys Gomer back, and this is a beautiful picture of the love God has for us. It's because every day as human beings, we're wicked and sinful, and we smack God in the face by rebelling. But God loves us enough to purchase us back and pay the price that you and I deserve to pay with our life.
Okay, but dude, unless the person that bought her, look at her face, she's like, no, unless the person that bought her back created the entire system that caused her to be a sex slave in the fucking first place, it's not a 1-to-1 comparison. In fact, it's not a 17-to-1 comparison. It's a nothing to nothing comparison because it's absurd.
Oh, that's a terrible example.
Thank you. Yeah, no, she gets it. She gets it.
Because she probably didn't even have a choice to marry him.
Who? Hosea?
Yeah. Does
Wow.
she have a choice to marry?
Well, how do you think weddings went back in the day?
Exactly like what she's saying. Do you know how weddings went back in the day?
Well, there was a lot of different ways weddings went for women back in the day.
That is the weirdest way to say that, but okay, sure, yeah.
Well, I would say in this circumstance that we see a lot throughout is Jewish
Women didn't even have
weddings.
rights.
But he bought her out of slavery. So, I mean, yes, you would have to, but I think she would want to, because otherwise, how does it stop her from just still being a slave, just to a different person who bought her?
Here until like, what, the 1950s, 1950s, really?
Like somewhere around World War II.
Yep, weird but not wrong. You're right.
Or something,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, but
like,
but even
we were property. We were literally property.
well, not back in that time period. I mean, look.
What? More so back in that time period. What are you talking about? Holy shit, man. And the whole like marriage ceremony and everything. Like that's why the marriage ceremony takes place the way it does, where you have the father who owns his property, the daughter, and hands off his daughter, the property, to the man that is now the new owner of the property that is, the woman that the father sold.
If you look at Jewish weddings, the way that a wedding summed about was like almost like they had courting, which was like you were setting yourself up for marriage, and then if we
Courting is all about the parents. again, the courting is all about the parents, like getting what they want at it. It's weird though, like they don't understand just like the basics of like how things work and why it worked. It was also about like not interbreeding or whatever with like other groups of people, until it became, kind of a, you had like lords and stuff like that. And then it was about like connecting houses, and it's a whole Game of Thrones type of thing. Anyway, but that's not what I'm talking about here. It was all to like keep their line pure and keep their supremacy pure, right?
wanted to get married back in that time period, I'd say, hey, do you want to get married? And you go, yeah, I want to get married. Do you want to get married? And we'd say, yeah, we want to get married. It's called a betrothal.
It's like, I had to buy my third wife back several times. Somebody's always talking about his third wife.
Right, so we're verbally agreeing.
Sometimes that would happen.
And then-
in certain cultures it could, but you can look at history. You know that women do not have a great track record when it comes to freedom for history.
Nah, they really don't. They really don't.
Sure, but if we're talking in the context of the Bible here,
Sure,
I think we got to be pretty consistent that that's just how the Jewish tradition went, and these guys are Jews.
But how do you have the representation?
Dude, holy shit. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, man. It literally says in the Old Testament, it puts women in the property section, dude. Like it's very clear that the Hebrew Bible, whatever, like treated women as if they were property. That was a big part of it.
Here's the thing, in the Bible, women are condemned so much.
When?
What do you mean?
I don't know, Eve, like just out the gate, with the whole Eve thing. But then, Paul says women shouldn't be allowed to talk. Remember that? And they got to keep their head covered. Don't want any guys to stumble, getting aroused, looking at their heads, I guess.
Like when you say women are condemned, like what do you mean by that?
Like it's Eve's fault for eating the apple. That's why there's sin.
Okay. There's two ways to go back to that one.
It's Samson's wife.
Delilah, yeah. But it was more about being racist to Philistines back then. But it was, but still, yeah, she's a woman too. So it was double whammy,
What was her name?
Delilah.
Yes. Delilah. She cut Samson's hair, demonized. Like,
just for giving him a haircut. That's crazy, I mean, who gets vilified just for cutting somebody's hair? You know what I mean?
Those are just a couple of examples, but it's just...
You don't know the example of women should shut up. They're not allowed to talk. They're not allowed to have dominion over men. You don't want to touch on any of these things. They're not allowed to teach men. Men are like, you know what? I don't like it. The people that wrote the Bible, like, I don't like it when women think that they can know stuff that we don't know. I don't like that. Let's write it down. Let's write this down. No women teaching stuff as long as they're a man. They can teach other women stuff if they want to, but That women only learn. Write that down. Women are just learn from men. Okay, yeah, that's it. Cool. Now it's settled.
Warm going by a book that was written by a bunch of old men that was translated incorrectly to a degree. I mean, you can just look at Elohim.
Right. Okay, hold on. It said somebody said Deuteronomy 22:23 through 29. Boy, that ain't quoting. Hold on, let me see what the verse is. Since we're doing Bible verses today. Let me see what it is. All right, what did you say? Deuteronomy. Oh God, I have to write out Deuteronomy. Okay, jeez. D-E-U-T. Wow. Oh, and I wrote an R, so it really doesn't know what I'm saying because I'm like really hope. There we go. Deuteronomy. Thank goodness. Okay. Deuteronomy. What did you say? Well, there it is. Okay. 22, 23 through 29. 22 and 23. Okay. Shema, Deuteronomy. What? No, that's not right. And then, hold on. A young woman, a virgin who is betrothed, a girl who is married but not yet brought to her husband's home, and whose marriage is therefore still unconsummated. That's I can shut up, Kevin. I can read. Okay, you don't need you get over here and try to read the stupid Bible. They constantly make up words in the Bible. You know what? So in this case, the absence of witness in the open field, the presumption must be that the woman is the victim and so guiltless. Yeah, I don't know if I understand what's is this like the what is this like when it was where a woman is raped and she has to cry out, and if she doesn't cry out, then it didn't matter because it wasn't hold on, let me go to the actual New International Version. Let me see. If a man happens to meet, hold on, let me do the whole chapter. Read full chapter. There we go. 23. It said 23. All right. Okay. If a man happens to meet in a town a virgin pledged to be married and he sleeps with her, you shall take both of them to the gate of that town and stone them to death. Jesus Christ. The young woman, because she was in a town and did not scream, that's why she deserves it, apparently, for help. And the man, because, well, he violated another man's property, wife, but still, you must purge the evil from among you. Well, then I would get rid of this book, first of all, being that it's a pretty significant evil and it's definitely among us. Holy shit.
To see that, just one example of it, and then being like told that my gifts, because women are more naturally intuitive, not saying that guys aren't. I think everyone's psychic, to be honest with you. I think it's just our innate ability.
Okay, I forgot that we're talking to a crazy person, so
it's a muscle that you use. The more you use it,
it's a muscle. Yeah, psychicness, there's a muscle in there,
the stronger it gets. But women are more naturally intuitive, and we're demonized for that.
Well, what about Ruth? What about Deborah? Even if you look at John chapter 4.
Ruth was intuitive. That's what we were trying to say. What the fuck are you talking about, man? Where you? She's like, nobody hated these women for in the Bible, so
they had to be this good woman, and they couldn't make any mistakes.
Well, here's the reality. Well, hold on, let me finish the thought. John chapter 4, you have a woman at the well, okay? And Jesus meets this woman at the well.
That was added by a scribe. This whole story added by a scribe was not originally in the gospel there.
She gives her life to Jesus. She submits and becomes a believer.
Where is the psychic muscle located? I want to know, because I'd like to work it out. You know what I mean?
She's the first human being. Well, everyone has to submit. I have to submit to Jesus. You would have to submit to Jesus. We both have to submit to God.
I don't submit.
Yeah, but women have to submit to men, dude.
Why is that?
Because it's not about submission. It's not about domination over anything. It's about connecting to love. Love is not property. Love is not, I need to be submissive to this.
He's like, you keep going back to this love thing, and nobody cares about love. Okay, so you're just gonna, can we just, pin in that? Okay, about the stupid love crap or whatever. Look, women have to be submissive, okay, because God said so.
I mean, that's a different thing.
Or surrender. Use the word surrender,
Yes, but like
Surrender.
even in that sense, it's like it's not something to be controlled.
Well, see, so the definition of submission would be voluntarily placing yourself underneath the leadership of someone or something, right? And so as a believer, I am voluntarily trusting God that his way is better.
But
And
it's
in this
not
instance,
voluntary.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that, I mean, you can say that, but it wasn't for a lot of people, and specifically women, when we're talking about like women and their role in like the Christian belief system, especially historically. It was not their choice. They didn't have autonomy, dude.
It's either do that or you go to the fiery depths of hell. That's fear-based.
Oh, well, that's actually a good point too. Yeah, that there's actually not much in the that's not much of a choice. You know what I mean?
That's like, you have to either like submit or I'm gonna punish you forever.
well, the
Ryan's like, thanks for the mansplaining, you dick.
reality,
That's terrible.
here's the reality
She just called you a chum, sir, but I thought, I'd up it to a dick.
of it. It's like a justice system. Do murderers
Murderers?
deserve to go to jail and pay for what they're doing?
What the fuck? What are you talking about?
Yes, they do. Do people that commit crimes deserve to go to jail? Absolutely, they do. The offer that Jesus is laying on the table is a free will offer. He says, hey,
But
Danny.
But dude, this is what's absurd about this is everybody's just born like deserving to be tortured for all eternity out the gate. That's not how our system works. You're like, oh man, hey, bad people got to go to jail. Yeah, but in your system, nobody's not bad. That's why it doesn't make sense. You're just, and it's so obviously just a thing to control people, because it's like, hey, believe my thing, otherwise you'll be tortured. You'll be tortured for all eternity. It happens after you die, so you can't check. But believe my thing, do it.
Bryce, you have the option to either trust me, live a life that honors me, trust that my way is better.
Literally, yeah, you're asking her to trust you. You're just doing to trust me, bro. And she has to believe you, not God, your interpretation of what you think she should believe as far as God goes.
Live a life that is in the original design, how I designed mankind, or live life how you want to live. If you choose to live life how you...
Yeah, you like the new red emoji there, Drizzle? We only got like a couple of minutes left, but where are we at? I don't know what time we at. I did kind of spend a bit too much. Well, I was about to like head out, right, and then it started getting interesting. But yeah, MAGA Brentley. That's the I don't know if you could see it, but that is the latest special emoji that you get, and means that. Well, you know what? Yeah, actually, we've done this for a while. You know what? I'll go with you. And if you remember and you do certain emojis, well, I will consider moving on to a different video. So that's that's what we do around here. So it's kind of fun. Oh yeah, because we were supposed to do right-wing stuff. I totally forgot. I asked in the poll. Oh, how do we do on the poll too? 93% said yes. I'm sorry. Shit. Wow. Not bad. Okay, hold on a second. You know what? We'll extend it for a little bit. What do y'all want to watch? This guy could not be more obviously closeted. Holy shit. He smokes a pipe, man. And he's like, yes, he'll trick him. Oh yeah, as long as I got this is super not gay, right? Pipes. Smoking a pipe. Not gay, right? No, man. No. You're not doing it right. Okay. Let me see. Wait, Matt Walsh went on 2 hours. Oh my God, he did. He went on Tucker Carlson. I thought that they were fighting each other. I thought that they were, because right now there's like this whole like split in the right wing side or whatever. I don't know what you would call it. And it has to do with like Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes and Israel and all this type of stuff, and Charlie Kirk, and there's a whole big thing, right? And it's pretty funny actually. Tim Pool's like freaking out at Candace Owens. He's like, you better stop. He's like, he's name calling her, and then he's saying that his property is getting shot at because apparently it's Candace Owens' fault that somebody's driving by and shooting at his entire property, whatever that means. And so that's a whole thing we could look into if you want. Oh yeah, and I did read an article that said that there was no evidence that was true, which is just kind of funny. What's this one? Let me see here. Candace Owens smirk while reacting to Erica Kirk says it all. What do y'all think? Does that look good? I just forgot. We were supposed to do like a right wing thing, and I totally forgot. And I found this lady lately, and she is so funny. I don't know. She just here, just watch for a second. I don't think I've covered her yet with everybody. I did a one that I'm working on for Patreon with her, but I haven't graced her with your presence. I wasn't right. I don't think I said that right. Here we go. Look.
Hey, thank you for the super thanks. It says, thanks, I appreciate you shining the light on this evil. Thank you.
So like smirking. $25 to this lady? Really? Y'all did? My God.
Thank you, Jesus reigns 005.
I don't even ask for money. Okay. I just want to make that clear. And I don't even do sponsors anymore. So, but that's that DIY punk rock mindset, and another punk rock mindset thing is you just kind of expect all your friends to be poor, so you don't ask them for money. This is not what you do.
For your $25 super thank you LPL-P50 for your today's
All
video.
right, y'all.
Y'all, look, it's today's video, y'all. Okay, so Erica Kirk goes on to Fox News to tell Candace Owens, shut the f up, right? And then Candace Owens, she's responding right now. This is good content, right? And she's reacting to it. And then now I'm reacting to her, reacting to Candace Owens, reacted to, I don't know if this is okay. We did a reacception all of a sudden here.
Thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
Okay, so on its face, I
didn't hear what you said. What?
Left. That is
Canadian dollar super thanks.
Wait, what?
We will get to more super thanks later in the show. Thank y'all so much for the support. Now let's get into today's
All
video.
right, y'all.
thing left.
Well, you just started in the middle of the damn sentence. Like, what the fuck? What was the? Oh my God! How are you, really, lady? You're this bad at this?
That is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents.
What is?
One thing.
Okay, so on its face, I actually agree with that. I think that when people are being buried and where they're being buried and how
Did she pronounce it buried? Huh. Interesting. She says it like phonetically how it's spelled.
their funerals are done, that is very private matter. Okay, so objectively, I agree with what
Do y'all see how happy Candace Owens is to attack a grieving widow? I mean, she seems very happy in her Instagram post when she was talking.
What is that? I guess I didn't start this right there because I'm like, oh, there was stuff at the beginning. That's what it was. Okay. I'm so confused right now. I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? Okay, hold on. Sorry. I skipped a huge chunk by accident.
Candace Owens should be ashamed of herself
She should, but not for the reasons I think you're going to say. But but yes.
for going after Erica Kirk.
Okay, I'm kind of neutral on that.
In this video that we're about to watch, Candace Owens is about to respond to Erica Kirk's interview that she did on Fox News yesterday. I want to get...
Well, her hair is just strapped to her head. My God, that looks fucking painful, dude. You gotta have a headache with that. She's like trying to do like the I'm a conservative like look or whatever, and it's just whoa, just like damn, that has gotta hurt. I feel like her eyes look like they should just be like pulled open, you know, like when they pull the hair back so hard, they're like, you know.
Get into some of her comments, but before we do, I'm Tamara. You're watching the Tamara Neely Show. I would like to welcome back all my returning subscribers, and if you're new here, I would like to let you know I'm happy you're here.
Oh, thank you. I did. You know, I'm happy to be here too. So it's just neutral. The feeling's mutual.
Quickly, before we get into this, let's get into a word of prayer, because on this show, we believe that prayer is our first resort and not our last.
It's our first report and resort and not our last resort. I don't think you say, nobody says first resort. That's not a thing that people say. It's the last resort is the only kind of resort when we're talking just as far as like how phrases work.
Lord God, I thank you for today. Thank you for each and every person watching this video. Lord, I pray for Erica Kirk, Turning Point USA. Lord, be with them and help them to know that you are the one who will fight their battles. In Jesus' name, amen.
Before we get started, Queen.
Thank goodness. Okay, wait. So then she went into this. What the? Did you hear the beginning of the sentence? Where was the beginning of the sentence?
Our family, to my in-laws, to my...
Okay, you know what? I went all the way back for a fucking prayer?
Babies, and to my parents. One thing.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so on its face, I actually agree with that. I think that when people...
Oh, sorry, this lady is such a terrible fucking YouTuber. I don't even know what you're talking about.
People are being buried and where they're being buried and how their funerals are...
Hold on. Deep State said, prayer does fuck all. No better than the placebo effect. And in some cases, there's where there's no placebo effect at all. Yeah. When people know that they are being prayed for, they actually try less. And then so prayer actually hurts results sometimes more than it helps results. Because the results are always at the rate of chance. So, yeah.
Are done. That is very private matter. Okay. So objectively, I agree with what...
Do y'all see how happy Candace Owens is to attack a grieving widow? I mean,
I didn't see any of that, but you know, we haven't seen the first half of the damn video because you don't know what you're doing.
And she seems very happy. In her Instagram post when she was talking about this show, she said, "Fun show, guys, today. Fun show."
Down there, she. Fun show. What the hell? As she attacks a grieving. She's like, fun show. I was just there attacking a grieving widow. Tons of fun. I love doing that. That's actually a Friday night for me. I actually go down to the funeral home and just start making fun of crying widows because that's my jam.
So today, guys, this isn't a fun show for Erica Kirk. This is her real life. And the thing is doesn't Candace Owens know Erica Kirk? Last time I checked, Erica Kirk went to her wedding with Charlie Kirk. So the way she's doing this is just cold.
She's a Republican, man. She's a right-winger Republican. Like, you know, the fuck your feelings crowd. So I don't know why y'all are so surprised when you start fighting each other and y'all are heartless pieces of shit to each other.
She's saying, okay? But subjectively, because we are dealing with the subject of Erica Kirk,
I don't think that's not what subjectively means. You know, it's not okay.
What transpired immediately following Charlie's assassination.
And subjectively, which just means speaking about a subject, which is Erica Kirk. So that's...
And this is going to be read as Meghan Markle syndrome, okay? Meghan Markle syndrome, where you want privacy when you want it, but you want publicity whenever you want it. And that just doesn't work. Okay. It doesn't work that way.
Tammy Faker. Yeah.
I honestly think it was said best by Bethany Frankel, not related to this situation. Bethany Frankel is on Real Housewives.
It's not a matter of wanting privacy when you want it or not. This is about the safety and legacy of Charlie Kirk for his children. Okay.
Did she say the safety and legacy of Charlie Kirk? Okay. Well, the legacy fucked, mainly because he was a terrible person. And safety of Charlie, look, lady, I hate to break this to you, but there was a tragedy. Okay. And he was out speaking publicly, and it doesn't apply, is my point. I'm not going to, but I think you need to go back and read some news, because he's definitely not safe.
Wherever Charlie Kirk is buried needs to remain private, because people could go to that gravesite and destroy his grave every single day.
Yeah, people can do that with any grave. You know what I mean? That's a possibility for just about everybody. So but it is kind of ironic that they're like, his legacy, he's got this great legacy. Don't tell anybody where he's buried, because lots of people are going to come and piss on it, because his legacy is he was a piece of shit. But
and we all know that leftists would. It's almost like,
oh, it's just leftists. Yeah, that's it. Or just anybody that was one of the several groups that he vilified on a regular basis.
Candace Owens doesn't remember that there is another side of the political spectrum.
There is? Wow. Yeah, I'm so glad you're here to tell us these things.
The left is not very generous, and they are not very kind people.
I don't know. I think we are definitely more generous than the side that always sucks up to the billionaires. We actually want medical care for everybody.
So for her to sit here and make this into something it isn't, oh, this is right. Meghan Markle, this is
allergies. I'm sorry. This is
that and that. Meghan Markle and Erica Kirk are two different people. I don't even want to hear her saying their names in the same sentence.
Oh. Well, she did. Now what?
Now I want to play Candace Owens's next claim, because she's made.
Well, you didn't play the first one, so but it's okay. Hopefully 1 out of 2 you can get.
Several rebuttals to Erica Kirk's statements. I'm not going to give her I'm not about to give her an hour of airtime. Okay.
Not just the 18 minutes that you spent bringing attention to the person that you don't want to bring attention to.
So I will be skipping throughout, so that we're not watching her whole show, because I don't care.
You fixed it. Yeah, nailed it. That'll make it better.
Care to watch her whole show. I'm doing this for Erica Kirk, and I'm doing this for Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA's legacy.
There's no help in that. Okay, Charlie Kirk, he's gone, and his legacy sucks. And Turning Point USA sucks. And I don't know much about her, but she doesn't seem too great either.
I could care less about what Candace Owens herself has going on.
Seems like you kind of do, man. Seems like you kind of do.
So let's watch the next one.
And you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every.
Is it hundreds and thousands? Both hundreds and thousands. Both kinds of numbers you're making in money.
Single.
Look at Candace Owens' face. Candace Owens is smirking there.
Nope, she's doing the deep freeze that she always does, because she's just a miserable person. And she's always kind of got that, like, I'm angry to exist look on her face.
As if this is funny. And the thing.
Do you know what? Okay. Yeah. How many, smirky faces have you ever seen? Because I don't know as if you know what a smirking face looks like.
Is what people are saying is true about her. Candace Owens was in love with Charlie Kirk.
Wait, is that a question? Are you asking? Maybe that's what this is all about. Her long lost love. And somebody was going to, and Erica Kirk, she found out about it. Oh man, this thing's getting blown wide open. Okay, here's what happened, right? Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, they're off having a romance of their own, right? Erica Kirk finds out about it. She was trying to get Candace Owens, but she couldn't because, you know, she snuck away or something. And then she's like, you know what? I'm just going to have to get the other person in this relationship, who I do have better access to because he's my husband. And, you know, and then she paid somebody to get him at a live event.
Truly believe that. And she is jealous of Erica Kirk.
Oh, she really does.
And for the people,
oh, she really, okay. So she believes this whole conspiracy that I'm just making up just now.
people who don't see that, it is clear to see here.
Really?
Episode going after the people that I
How mad she is at her. She's like, how dare you marry my love? My love. I hate this lady. She's so fake. She looks like one of those plastics from that movie, Mean Girls.
love because somehow they're in on this. No.
No.
I'm sorry, but that.
Yeah, I'm actually with Candy on this one. Not convincing. Okay. And you somehow think we are in on this and Turning Point USA is in on this? No. Next question, please. Go ahead. That's all. Just no.
That whole thing right there is frustrating, and I'm going to explain to you why. I just do not accept any of that. First and foremost, the idea that she does not have time. Okay, she definitely has time. Okay, she's done Hannity, she's done The Five, she's done Fox and Friends, she's done Outnumbered, she's done Megyn Kelly Live. She sat down with the New York Times. She made time, by the way, in case you don't remember, to fly to DC for Sergio Gore to be sworn into the ambassador to India as the ambassador.
Okay.
What did she not have time for? Maybe I'm just too ADHD and I'm missing, important things here.
So Candace Owens wants to list out how Erica Kirk has time, but she doesn't want to make time to address Candace Owens because we know that Candace Owens is
to address her. Okay, I got it. All right, my bad. Well, that only takes like a couple seconds. That's not something that makes sense.
the most important woman.
If you're saying I don't have time to address Candace Owens, well, then you're using the time that you could be addressing Candace Owens with the time that you're to say that you don't have time to address Candace Owens.
In the entire world. Candace Owens deserves the most amount of attention over everybody.
Wow. Okay. Good one. Yeah.
Okay. I can't even keep a straight face saying that.
Doesn't seem like you can keep a straight much for this thing.
Candace Owens is not Erica Kirk's top priority, and she should not be. Erica Kirk is a mother of two. Then she also is a
Yet she can go on all of the different shows that she just listed. She's a mother of two, and that's why she went on Hannity. She went on The Five. She went on the. Where are the kids? Are they sitting backstage? What's going on here?
CEO of a major, huge company. Candace Owens is her
major, huge company.
Is not her main priority. But this is another example of Candace Owens.
She's enough of. What's funny here is she's enough of a priority for like people to be asking her about it like during interviews and stuff. It's like, so what do you think about that Candy lady? What's up with that? What do you got for her in response? And she's like, I don't have time.
Making everything about Candace Owens, and the world does not revolve around her. Now, she wants to also bring up time. Well, let's also talk about her time and how she's spending her time. Because last time I checked, just last week, she made the announcement that she didn't have the time to go to fly to Phoenix, Arizona, to be there with Turning Point USA live as they debunk her claims. She didn't have time for that because her husband had something going on. People are allegedly saying her husband had has two birthdays, which we know is not true.
What?
So don't.
Okay, I guess I'm not following. all of this stuff closely enough. Is that one of the things? He has two birthdays, and that's why he's like, who does that? Who has 2 birthdays? It was there's a conspiracy afoot.
Talk to me about time, because you have been spending each and every day, weekday that you host your show, talking about Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, Erica Kirk indirectly, and you have the opportunity to address her personally, and you don't, and you want to talk about time? Yeah, no. You can just stop.
It's funny.
Okay, that's fine. Now, to that point that people are making
Amber said it's funny that TPSA is supposed to be non-profit religious charity. Is it really? It's supposed to be non-profit? What? Holy shit. Okay. I did not realize that. But all of the Nat C's call it a major company, and Erica is a multi-millionaire, but it's charity. Yeah, that's just no. We'll have to collect it, I just skim off the top, and that's really just so we can give out more of the money to the that we do the charity for. Yeah, although otherwise all of the wouldn't be able to have all of the money that we give to them. So I got to skim off the top. Sorry. Okay. It's otherwise. What are we going to do for the function?
Hundreds and thousands of dollars.
Look, but seriously, what is the charity for? Like who gets the charity? Like what for what? Which they raise money to what, they hand out those tables and they're like, go ask kids questions about right-wing bullshit at colleges. We'll give you a table and a backdrop, and make sure you film yourself. Actually, no, we do that too. That's part of our jam. We film it and then we put it on our website. You got to be good though. Okay, we're gonna cut all of the instances where you don't sound good. So, like, what is the charity?
I just don't get how there's not someone on this very large PR team, as we're seeing these PR campaigns go out, that doesn't go, hey, maybe we should strike that. They made $40 million like 2 nights ago at Mar-a-Lago. Maybe that feels kind of a little bit like let them eat cake-ish. Oh, and
let them eat cake. Oh, that's the that. First of all, your right-wing audience not gonna have any idea what the fuck you're talking about when you say that feels let them eat cake-ish. They're gonna be like, what's wrong with the cake? Yeah, we should let people do. What are you against people eating cake? I don't. Why are you an anti-cakeist? I don't. What's a cake thing, dude? Like what's the problem? Not knowing that it's what's her name? The queen. That anyway.
Let them eat cake-ish. So they're just supposed to let
Antoinette. Fuck, what, dude? Her name is just dropping out of my head. Antoinette, the queen lady, and all the poor people were starving, right? And so she was like, "Oh, I got an idea to go fix all the poor people starving. Let's go. We'll let them eat some cake. That'll fix it." And they're like, "Are you? Fuck yeah!" They like lost it at her. They're like, "What? I let them eat some of the cake." It's like, that's just kind of funny. I mean, it's not. It was terrible tragedy that was going on at the time, but it's just funny that she couldn't figure out why everybody was flicking her off after she offered them cake, even though they were all starving while they lived in a magnificent castle with servants and all this other shit.
You continue to disrespect Charlie Kirk and his legacy, something that they're trying to keep.
I'm sorry. I say Marie Antoinette. It's Oprah Winfrey. That was the word. That was the person. What? That's not. It wasn't Oprah Winfrey. Okay. Oprah Winfrey didn't say that people could eat cake when they were starving. I don't know, it sounds pretty Oprah-ish, So, you get some cake. You get some cake.
Alive? That's let them eat cake-ish? They're just supposed to, let's close our eyes. And
do you even know what that means, lady? I kind of don't feel like she does.
It make it seem like we don't know what's going on, so that Candace Owens can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month.
While she makes millions a month too. Yeah, everybody's making more money than they should off of this whole thing.
Off of Charlie Kirk's death, the lady has brought in at least over $1 million because of
What lady?
Of-
Which one are we talking about? Erica Kirk, or because they both brought in over $1 million, I'd say, over this whole situation.
because of her investigation. Now, I want to let her.
Marie Antoinette. I got the last name right. I was close. I knew the Antoinette. The Marie. Thank you. I appreciate that. Beam. Thank you, Beam.
Her finish the statement really quick, and then I want to get into Candace Owens's net worth the past 30 days on YouTube.
I love how she has to say, oh, we're gonna go over her net worth. Well, that sounds very entertaining. Good God. Let's see how much a YouTuber makes. Like, what the fuck? This is so weird. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, no.
Because we are pulling up the receipts.
We've made more than, separately from Mar-a-Lago, Turning Point USA, since Charlie was killed, just so you guys know this is a fact, has made more than $100 million. That is separate from the $40 million they made at Mar-a-Lago the other night.
I love the idea that, like, Turning Point USA is like, we need to amp up the money that we make for this organization, charity. Sorry. Are you with the IRS? Charity. Okay. Yeah. No word, charity. Yeah. But the organization, or whatever, we need to amp up the money that we get for this organization. Let's take out Charlie Kirk, right? Like, he's kind of a drag on it, right? Like, he's not, I feel like we could explode in the millions if that guy just was not here. You know what I mean? But, like, what? I'm so confused.
So since Charlie has died, that organization has taken in $140 million. But gosh darn you people.
Don't say gosh darn. Okay, that sounds like somebody with their hair strapped back to their head, wearing like ankle dresses and shit.
That are making hundreds of dollars every day on YouTube talking about Charlie Kirk's assassination and the BS narrative that is being fed, and the very
fucking bullshit narrative. Would you talk like an adult, lady?
obvious psychological operation that is being employed to make you accept the BS that they are trying to sell to us. Gosh darn you. That was
Gall dong darn snippet. You, okay? You gosh dang it. Fart. No, I'm sorry. That would be, fart is too far. Like, you can't. Like, we have to cut the fart thing. That was way too, that was vulgar. Those come out of butts, so that's, we can't have people thinking about that.
Then did you make $1,000 today? Speaking about Charlie Kirk? Well, you should be ashamed of yourself, says Turning Point USA.
That's not.
It makes millions off of his being unalived. I'm not following the logic here. I'm kind of,
Not what's going on here. Let's pull up our numbers.
like, I am so lost in this country, lady. Let's pull up the numbers.
Here are Candace
here we go.
Owens's numbers. Okay, so it looks like here Candace Owens is
Where do you get this
averaging.
from? What? You can just look up like how much money they make. Is this on YouTube? YouTube's like, oh yeah, here's all the money. Here's how much money we pay this person, that person.
Let me go up here. Candace Owens has averaged about. She's made upwards of $242,000 the past 30 days. Now we know what she's been talking about the past 30.
Like, where is she getting these numbers from? This is from. She like reports these numbers or
30 days. And it hasn't been about the Macrons. It hasn't been about anything else. It has been about Charlie Kirk.
Dude, this is exactly what she's done this entire time, dude. Like, what? It's so weird that people act like this is so surprising, and they're just now acting like she just started making money off of like the of tragedies and stuff. Like, she did that whole like documentary on like why Black Lives Matter, or why Black lives shouldn't matter, because she just had the profit off of all the cops that were unaliving unarmed Black people, and then saying that the organization that was like, hey, we should stand up so that cops don't have a culture of being able to do this and get away with it. They're like, they're Marxist and they steal some money or something, whatever the fuck it was. Doesn't matter. Point is, she's always profited off of tragedy, man. Like, that's kind of their bag. Like, they're the fuck your feelings crowd, remember?
If we scroll up here, does it look like, y'all tell me, does it look like Candace Owens has just been making hundreds of...
What is it? Beep said, Turning Point pays 18,600,000. I'm not reading this whole number. 18 million. Let's go with that. Should I round it up? Okay, 18.5 million, a little over. In other salaries and wages. They pay 18 million in wages, in other salaries and wages. To who? Like, who's getting that money? Okay, they're like, hey, we got to keep this ball rolling. So, costs 18 million. Sorry, I gotta pay the help. Okay, did you know we set up these tents and stuff? You know, they don't, and camera guys, right? They show up. Do you have any idea how expensive it is to have a guy with the camera? It's a lot. It's a lot. 18 million, actually.
dollars per day on YouTube talking about Charlie Kirk? No, that's not the case.
Dude, Drusilla's got my... Oh, really? Oh, okay. We might have to see. Drusilla said she's looking at my my social blade. How many millions do I got? I got a few million. How are we doing? How are we doing? You know, I don't like to talk about it, but I've got a few hundred million, billion, bajillion dollars.
Here, it's like she's acting as though we have amnesia or something. We can clearly see.
Well, I mean, you tend to when it comes to a lot of stuff on the right.
Your numbers here. This day, she made upwards of...
You can see the day. That is crazy, dude. On this day, she made $134 to $2,000.
$9.6 thousand.
$9.6 thousand. Okay, you're kind of a long way to the 18 million that Turning Point has to pay in wages, apparently.
I don't want to hear her try to make it seem like she's not making money. I
don't think she ever said, like, did she ever say, she's like, I make zero money doing this. I do this for free. This is actually a charity, believe it or not.
knows exactly what Erica Kirk is talking about, and she needs to stop being manipulative. This is mean girl stuff.
Drusilla's like, it's in the negatives. Sorry. Yeah, that's Punk Apostate makes negative 100 million. I said, yeah, I know. I owe some billionaires quite a bit. You know, they're pretty mad at me. And they always say I owe them all these hundreds of millions to do these slap suit things. And now I got to pay all these stupid slap suits. So.
Who in large part made that money because of those very people who gave to the organization immediately following Charlie Kirk's assassination. And the thing that is especially absurd about that is trying to almost like, I want to be clear that Turning Point USA is my family. The Charlie Kirk show is my family. You know, like she's just expanding the wings.
David said, my ancestors see me through my DNA living this time, and I have to make them proud of me, even if it's just in my mind. That's right.
Of people that we're not allowed to critique because they're in the family. If you call them fam, you can't critique them, right?
No,
that's right. It's I'm sorry. That was what then, lady?
It's not what's happening. People have to realize Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk are around these people every day, all the time.
Yeah. So?
These people have become more like family to her. They helped her husband build a multi-million-dollar company.
Charity. Remember, the IRS is listening. Charity. Okay.
Over the span of 10 years. So
Okay.
don't sit here and make it seem as though she's just all of a sudden broadening the titles of these people. Don't sit here and make it seem
She's brightening the titles of these people. I'm very confused. What is the disagreement here? I feel like I guess I haven't been listening as closely as I should.
as though she's doing that to accommodate Candace Owens. That's not what's happening here.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. We actually are showing a clip of Rob McCoy defending a pedophile or trying to like launder the reputation of.
I mean, kind of all you Republicans at this point are defending a pedophile. So I mean, because of Trump, the guy that y'all are obsessed with.
That's fam. That's the CK show, fam. Oh, I'm sorry. We are actually pointing to the fact that we know for certain that this person or organization is sexual deviant. That's fam. That's my, that is my, don't you get me up.
Again, Republicans, this is what y'all do, okay? And Catholics too, but that's a separate issue, right? Yeah, they just go, hey, but they're on my team. So they're they may be a PDF file, but they are the best damn accountant out there. And so got to put up with some stuff sometimes, you know what I mean?
Set. I know that this is a now $150 million in the last 3-month organization, and we employ tons of people, but you can't.
You yourself have made millions the past
You just said she made thousands.
3 months. At least about $1 million or more. I would say.
Why do you keep saying at least? It gets you're trying to say at least, but she keeps saying. I thought it was just a slip like one time, but now she's repeated it like 4 times. She keeps saying at least 4.
I'm kind of being generous there, saying it on the low end, because if she's averaging $250,000 a month.
Amber said it's also worth noting Candace is CEO of the Blexit Foundation, which is a subsidiary of TV USA. Like everything Candace does, this whole thing is several layers of fake for outrage. No shit. Really? Wait. It's also that Candace, she's the CEO of the Blexit Foundation, which is a subsidiary. So they're all working together. Wow, dude. Of course. I don't even know. I would find that surprising. Like, I don't know why I didn't just guess that ahead of time, actually,
And she's got the super chats going. Yeah, she's racking up at least close to or $1 million or more.
What the fuck is the Glease thing? Why stop? Don't ever say a Glease again, okay? Because it's not. Is that a common thing that people say in the South? Like, what the fuck?
So I don't want to. I'm tired of her making it seem as though she hasn't been making money off of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Now, when it comes to the stuff that she just said, I don't know what this lady is talking about.
I kind of don't either. But there's probably some context that you left out.
I don't. Because it seems like she takes every little thing and she magnifies it.
You can't critique. You can't critique the fam. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to be very clear lead company.
Did she magnify the PDF the PDF files thing? Was that accurate? Because it would not surprise me one bit if that was something that was proven to be the case with TPUSA, that they were also a PDF file ring of some sort protecting the PDF files or something.
You can't critique. You can't critique the fam. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to be very clear here. This is why there are many people who do not believe that women are equipped to lead companies, because what you are watching here is.
No, I do the Bible. Yeah, no, that's it because of the Bible, man. Right? Again, the crowd that you're talking to, lady.
An unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic. Okay.
Oh, she's going for the hysterical woman. Good one. Oh yeah, that's good. Unbelievable. Really? She's like, Women are hysterical, not me. I don't count. I'm a special pleading, I'm sorry, case but women hysterical, they shouldn't lead companies. Just me though, but I don't count.
If you really care about your team, answer the questions. Okay? Just demystify the entire event. Answer, come out.
Do you not know that that Erica Kirk's team is going to be answering your questions on December 15th?
Quickly, I would like to thank Keely.
What the fuck? What is happening? Okay, really? You're just gonna you were mid-sentence, lady. You were mid-sentence, and you're just like, hey, everybody, I'm going to just come in here. I'm going to pop in here just to say thank you for the $5. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, now we're back to the rest of the sentence.
For this $5 super thanks that says, hey, Tamara, I'm a newbie with this $2 super thank. Fine. Thank you so much. Spinning with prayer. So
Why are people giving you so much money? This is really
good to find a channel that
right-wingers have too much fucking money. That's that's what I'm taking away from this. It's too much fucking money on the right.
that does that in this environment. Thank you so much, Curtis. Thank you, Co, for this $4 donation, and I hope this is helpful. Also,
Kurt,
Okay.
she is dying
So we're finishing the sentence now. Just want to make that clear.
to see this woman. Allegedly, she even said that she would show up on December 15th if Erica was there. Why?
Was there.
Why do you want to see Erica so bad?
Hold on,
She
I
even
gotta hear that again.
said that she would show up on December 15th if Erica was there. Why do you want to see Erica?
Take two. Let's do a take two. Let's just take it back. Let's just take it back, and then we can say the whole thing without all the. Sound like you're doing a fucking Ricka,
Erica so bad. Erica is not checking for you like that. Erica does not like you like that.
Oh.
Erica is a.
Oh, I bet that now you're just hurting people's feelings. Okay, she doesn't like her.
Very classy lady, and she doesn't want to have anything to
She's a very classy lady, so she doesn't want to have anything to do with you.
Because she understands that when you wrestle with pigs, you'll both get dirty and they'll like it.
Yeah, sure, we can talk about that too. Yeah, the pigs, wrestling with pigs. What are we talking about? What?
And that's what this whole show has exposed about Candace Owens. From the beginning of the show,
I know, right? Is she an Erica Kirk fangirl? Like, what is this? This is so weird. Who goes out this far on a limb for some lady that's, say what you will about Candace Owens, but Erica Kirk is acting weird. This is weird. All the stuff she's doing and everything. The freaking, the funeral was insane. Like the fireworks and stuff going off, like the monster trucks coming out. Like, now we got a monster truck show where it comes out and crushes all the clown cars and stuff. Whatever. I don't know if that would happen, but it felt like in line with everything. But it's just weird. Why are they doing all this? It's almost like they're like, we need to up our ratings, and get more eyeballs on our stuff. So. Public execute,
she was smirking as she's reacting to Erica.
Hey, we can see. Well, there's people on the left that have some money. Look at that. Whoa. Hey, thank you so much. That's awesome. Seriously. Priscilla, you're the best. Hell yeah. So wish I could give so much more. You're amazing. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Hell yeah. That's 20 knocks. 20 of them. No. So no, thank you. No, that is huge. I really, really appreciate that. That's awesome. Hell yeah. But it's Crohn's, right? It's the Crohn's, right? I feel like I'm saying that right?
Because comments when Erica is clearly on there distressed and upset. And then she gets on here and tries to make it seem like Erica Kirk is just momming Turning Point USA. Erica Kirk did not want to be.
What? Hold on. She's just mommy Turning Point USA. Is that what you just said?
Upset. And then she gets on here and tries to make it seem like Erica Kirk is just momming Turning Point USA. Erica Kirk did not.
What is momming? What? I'm so confused. What? I don't understand half the thing. Is this another Gleast situation? And she's not saying the word right, or what?
Not want to be the chairman and CEO of her husband's company, but her husband just passed away, and she felt like that was the best way to honor his legacy at this point.
Right.
Now that she could change her mind at any time,
and then go back in time and do something different. Wait. No, you can't. You can't do that.
And she could do something different. But as for now, that is what makes her feel comfortable. And if you love Charlie,
what is she doing again? She's momming? Is that what?
Kirk, you should be okay with that. Instead, Candace Owens sits here and makes
this shit is weird. It's like, I swear, like, I feel like right wingers have like run out of shit to do. You know, they're like, we vilified gay and trans people so much. I'm tired of talking about it. You know, I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing me talk about it. You know what I mean? And so now they're all just off on this, whatever the hell this is, you know, criticizing other right wing shows about fucking Erica Kirk and like what she's, you know, how much money she's making from TPUSA, and now there's all this conspiracy. They're just fucking bored, you know. Right wingers have just they're just bored, and now they're just finding bullshit to yell about. It's crazy. Oh my god.
Makes it seem as though Erica
is mom a verb now? Do they do that? Is that a thing?
Just was dying for this position. Erica wasn't dying for this.
No, it was Charlie Kirk was the one, you know, never mind.
But unfortunately, this moment has called Erica to be the leader of Turning Point USA.
Oh God, I was like, she messed up another word. Moments don't call people.
Now, I'm not usually.
Now I'm just like, any word cannot be. Now I'm totally like off on. I have no idea what she's saying anymore, because I'm just assuming that all of her words are wrong.
For women being CEOs and all that stuff. But wasn't Candace Owens also a CEO?
Yeah, but she doesn't count. Remember, with the special plea? I mean, she's special. Remember?
She goes on in this video to mention how her husband is the CEO of her company, and she couldn't imagine.
Yeah, isn't he like a billionaire or something too? Isn't like Candace Owens' like husband like super fucking rich or some shit?
Imagine being the CEO and this and that. Well, last time I checked, didn't you have that one company where you were doxing conservatives every single day? You were making their lives a living.
You know, HE double hockey stick.
A word that I'm not going to say on this channel.
Oh my God, I was joking. Holy shit. Okay.
Don't talk to me about a woman not being a CEO. I've had enough of this. You guys, y'all are welcome to go watch the rest of her on your free time. I can't hear her voice anymore.
Wow, this is such an interesting person, isn't she? She's interesting, you know? Yeah, that's it. I'm just going with interesting.
This has disturbed me, and I'm done watching it. I love you guys. Thank you for watching.
Love you too. Watching
this video. Let me know what you think in the comments section.
No, I'm just gonna stream it, but yeah.
And be sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and join the conversation below.
No, she can't say hell. That'd be against the rules. Unless you're talking about, you know, the place, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for hanging out. This was awesome. And thank you so much, Gisela, for the knocks. You know, I know what she's gone, dude. She's gone. She doesn't make content anymore. I guess we could try to go. No, I don't even think we can go over her old stuff, because it's gone. All of it's gone. She got rid of it, because it's so weird too. Like, I have several videos, like, you know, messing with her and everything, and like people keep finding them and are like getting all mad at me and stuff, oh, what are you doing making fun of Gina? Where is she, by the way? I don't know. I'm like, I don't know, man. I think she's gone, dude. They're like, why are you so mean to her? I'm like, dude, this was fucking forever ago. Okay, I didn't make her go away. All right, she just went away on her own. I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, it's so funny. They're like, I keep getting like comments on videos that were like 2 years old because like, where's Gina? and they find my videos instead of her videos. And for whatever reason, with the thumbnail that's clearly making fun of her, they're like, yeah, that's hers. Yeah, that's it. Not too bright people. Not too bright of people that watch Gina, Like, how did you not get from the thumbnail that this wasn't a Gina video? What are you doing? But again, not the brightest people over there that watch that lady. But yeah, so we can't even find a new Gina video to watch, which is, hey, look, if anybody can find Gina, please tell me where she's gone, how to follow her, I need to know, because I need to know. Let's see, Ever said before that she used to rant about how dumb MAGA is. Then she figured out how to leverage that. Yeah. That sounds about right. Yep. But, all right, y'all. Oh, thank you all so much for hanging out. This was super fun. Hey, Sam, how you doing? Sammy God, what's up? You just said hi. It's like, hi. Hi. What's up? You guys doing stuff? What's up? What's going on in here? I don't. Anyway. No. All right. Thanks for watching. I gotta go. Sorry, Sam. You walked in right at the end, so it's you missed out. You just might have to rewind the video. That's it. You push the rewind button and go check that out. But before the rest of you say farewell, we're gonna thank our members. Here we go.
Making ways to snap and grapple. Democratic socialists fighting for the poor. Trumpers lose their minds screaming out for more. Mom, daddy, derangement syndrome. Can't say nothing nice. Gotta hate into the bone.
All right, and that's it. Now, if you guys want to, or if y'all want to support the show, there's some different ways that you can do that. And they're listed here. Become a patron, which I am updating. The Patreon now got some stuff up there. Currently, I got a clip up there from a live stream the other day. It's pretty good. And then you can also just do a one-time payment on Cash App if you feel like it. The cash tag is Punk Apostate. You can become a member by subscribing and then hitting that join button. So you subscribe first. It's an order of operations. Okay, you got to subscribe first, and then the subscribe button turns into a join button. Then you hit that join button. Then you're good to go. Okay, but you have to have a credit card anyway. But yeah, become a member for as little as like. I think it's $3 a month or something. Anyway, small. It's I got to check the numbers again. It's been a minute. But you can also email me at bunkapostate@gmail.com. You can also join our Discord, which is the link for the Discord is in the show notes currently right now. And hit me up on all the socials. All those links are there as well. But hey, the main thing is to stay logical, stay loving, skeptical, and compassionate, and we will see you next time.